Good morning, everyone. Early birds. IG Kiwi, is that the Kiwi? Pepper, hello. How are you all? You get to, as always, as per usual, hear me make my Instagram. We're gonna beat this dang game today, babies. Are you excited? How are you all? Oh my god. Here we go. Hello, everybody. Did you finish your Steam Summer Sale purchases? For me, I have 1 hour left, but I'm streaming. I was gonna pan over and have it be the game, but it's not here. Do you want to watch me play Dave the Diver? Look at him. We're playing Ace Attorney! Come hang out, I love you. Alright. You're good, Pepper? The cute Catboy, it's me. Oop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-boop-a-boop. Twitch.tv/GoVigaBoy. Boo-boo-boo-boo-boo. I'm live. Boop. Boop. We'll change the color of that. Boop. Schmoop. Can I change? Oh, I can tap that. Oh, okay. Alright. And then I post it to my story. And then I put my phone away. And then I say hello to everybody today. I hope you all are having a lovely Thursday, that you've had a lovely week, and that you got to eat all the cookies that you wanted in your entire life. If there were any cookies left unconsumed, bagels too. Bagels are also good. They're like a big thick cookie with a hole in the middle, you know? And it's not sweet usually, but sometimes it can be. What's the difference between a chocolate chip cookie and a chocolate chip bagel? Like, really? You know what I mean? You really think about it? You know what I mean? Oh. Oh, am I the wrong one? Oh, no. Listen. I've been wanting to beat this game for 2 years. I bought it when it first came out. I got through some of it, and then I stopped. I promptly stopped streaming it and playing it. I was like, oh, I don't know if I'll stream this. Maybe I'll play it off stream. And then I just never did. And so... so I'm so excited. It's been a journey. We're having a saga. A murder. Yeah, that's how I feel too, High G. Is it High G or High G? G or G? It's very similar, but different enough. Oh my god, I'm gonna be a little loopy today too. I hope you're ready for extra silly times. Eyes, he. Okay, he. All right. Okay. I'm halfway there. Easy? That's probably it. It would be a little wild if it was he, guy. That doesn't really make sense. Easy. Okay, thank you. Oh, I get so many names, and I feel like, I do my best to pronounce everybody's name correctly, and I want to pronounce everyone's name correctly, but sometimes I just get it wrong, and nobody ever corrects me, you know what I mean? Hello, everybody! It is I, the boy, and I'm a cat also. How are you doing today? I love you. Boo, boo, boo! Shark, hello! Boop, 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 boop. Everybody dance. I'm so excited. Y'all. We get to play. We get to beat the game. We get to beat the game tonight. I'm so excited to beat the game. I haven't seen your stream in such a long time. I'm short. Yeah, I am short. Oh my goodness. Listen, I kind of just don't want to waste any time, y'all. Let me load the game up. Let's do it. This game in particular, my computer doesn't like it if I load it up ahead of time. I don't know why. It has a problem. You short too? How short? I'm maybe 5'1". I always thought I was 5'1", and then we measured me like a while ago, and maybe I'm shorter than that even. All right, let's turn off this. Go over here. Yeah! All right. Let's us continue. However long it takes us, we have one section left, so however long it takes us, we're beating it today. Whoa. Hold on one sec. I'm pulling up my no spoilers walkthrough, and I'm getting that ready now so that I don't have to think about it later. Is this it? Is this it? Ooh, baby, baby, baby. Okay. Yes. Okay. All right, I have it here. All right, killer. Are we ready? You're 5'1". Hell yeah, Jose. Hello. All right, here we go. I do all the voices. Are you ready?
This is the article in question, is it? The small box deposited with the pawnbroker by Mr. McGilded 2 months ago.
And on the night of the Mr. of the Mr. Windibank's murder, the only item on the shelves that was touched by whoever broke into the shop. Quick, let's open it and see what's inside! Pub not found, hello. Mr. Scoot, welcome. Whoa. Oh, is this the music player?
Gracious, this is no ordinary box, it seems.
Wow, although in truth, I had an inkling that might be the case. It would appear that this guy's a vampire. It would appear that the box houses a miniature music box movement. This guy is definitely a murderer, but we don't know why yet. We haven't proven it.
Then is it too much to expect?
I think it would be reasonable to assume that this is a device for the playback of this disc, my lord. Woo, 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 woo. Bonk.
So here we have the means to play back Mr. McGilded's disc, deposited at Windibank's at much the same time.
Not strictly correct, my lord. It was not McGilded's disc. It was the disc of his victim in the omnibus.
But why, for heaven's sake? Are we to understand that the brickmaker was trying to sell this music box disc to Mr. McGilded?
Raise your hand up, all stupid. I believe the answer will become clear if we listen to the music on the disc, my lord.
Yes, very well. Let the court now listen to this curious disc at last.
Hold it! Who's that? That's Gregson. Wait, my lord! They've been conversing about some secrets.
Good grief, what is the meaning of this, Inspector?
The music box and the disc are, well, they're unrelated to the case. No need to spoil the somber atmosphere in the courtroom with some silly bit of music.
Objection!
The disc may very well have motivated the culprit in the case to commit murder. Clearly, there's every chance that it's fundamentally important to understanding what happened. The prosecution has no objection. But no, that piece of evidence is police property now. You can't... Clearly, Scotland Yard has some vested interest here. But it is policy of this prosecutor to leave no avenues unexplored. There we do! Hello! The victim obviously murdered themselves. Oh. Hello. And you, Inspector, have no jurisdiction here to prevent that from happening. PR Brox. Or maybe it's PRB Rocks. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Mew Crew. How are you? Hello. Ah!
No further delays, please play the disc.
What will happen? Are you kidding? What? Is it Morse code?
What on earth? That's certainly not what I would call music.
I'm doing great. We're gonna solve this case. Is it PRB or is it PR Brox? It's just the same note playing over and over in an irregular sequence. Yeah, it's we learned about Morse code. Uh-oh.
Mr. Graydon!
PR Brox? Okay.
This really is priceless.
Dance, baby, dance.
After all that, the music box is broken.
Broken? It can't be, can it? No, it's obviously Morse code. Come on.
Well, obviously. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the officer sent to fetch it didn't drop it on the way back to the courtroom. Well, with much regret, I feel the court must accept that this music box offers little in the way of clues. Are you ready to move on, counsel?
Link's broken paw with a resub, 25 months, a quarter of a month, 100. Hello, how are you? It's good to see you. Come on. Yes, all right. It does sound though it's completely broken, but is it? Could this music emanating from the music box possibly be a clue? It could be a clue. It's y'all. It's Morse code. Good to see you too. Hi, Hannah. Hello. I believe that it could be relevant, my lord.
Good lord, but how can it be? It's an abomination, counsel, mere noise. I fail to see how it could have any meaning whatsoever.
That sounds strange, I agree. But there's one thing bothering me. While Graydon stands there chortling victoriously, the inspector beside him has a rather telling expression on his face. It's as if Gregson recognizes the sound, as if he's familiar with it somehow. And that's making him appear extremely on edge. What did you use? I got a commission from an artist. I have all that information. I should be in the... Oh, jeez. This, my Twitter thing didn't work. Oh, is this working? Hold on. I didn't check to... Oh, shoot. Yeah, something's, like, not right with some of my redeems. I'm not sure what's going on here. But... Wait, hold on. Can I do this? Oh, I can't. Oh, everything's broken. I, like, messed up a bunch of... Hold on. That work? Social? There we go. On my... At the very least, on my Twitter, it's on there. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's get back. If that's the stance of the defense, my Nipponese friend, answer me this. Oh? The artist credit, I should say. Just what relevance do you propose this woeful chiming has on this case? It's the defense's belief that this sound emanating from this music box is not supposed to be music. It's Morse code. It's Morse code. Just because this is a music box, it doesn't necessarily mean the sounds we're hearing are music. Oh. Look at that. The smile vanished from Graydon's lips as soon as I said it. I'm on the right lines here. I must be. Haha! Making deductions based on how people react to what you say. You're acting just like a Harley, Rhoda.
Objection! The sounds we are hearing aren't necessarily music. Well, now that you've told us what they are not, I'm sure the court would like to hear what they are. Do enlighten us, my Nipponese friend.
Well,
surely you have an idea in mind, because if not, it will be the death of your ill-formed argument.
Yeah, Master, hello.
Exactly. The music box is clearly broken. Refusing to accept that fact is pure foolishness.
They've got me. I don't know what the answer is yet. Rono? Yeah, Master with the follow. Thank you so much, and welcome to the Mew crew. Oh, wait. I've just examined the music box very thoroughly. And I'm fairly certain that it's not broken at all. Oh, hello. Really? Really, the way it's been made, it can only produce a single note anyway. Thank you, Iris. There's only one little thing. Alright, well, if the music box isn't broken, it must mean that the sound it's producing have some significance that isn't musical. Iris coming in clutch. I love her. I see Ace Attorney. Yeah. Ah. Could it be? Is that what these sounds are? Enlighten us, Renosuke. Come on. Yushi, hello, welcome back. Something's just struck me right now. I feel like recently, in the past few hours even, I've heard another sound very much like the one the music box makes. Yes, it's a familiar sound. Actually, Iris, I was just thinking the exact same thing.
I'm going to have to press the defense for an answer. Your assertion is that the sound produced by this music box is not, in fact, music at all. Then what the devil is it, Council?
The voice you're making for her, though, amazing. She's Lumpy Space Princess. Cause this is sort of like a lot of the girl voices that I do, especially for like small children. But I already gave that voice to Sasato, who is not here at the moment. So I had to like come up with something else for her. Otherwise, they'd have like the same voice. And that's effectively Gina's voice as well. But she's I'm a British little baby. Hello, Mabel. Hello. All the evidence we've seen so far, all the testimony we've heard, it's all pointing to one single answer now.
Then the prosecution demands that my learned Nipponese friend presents proof now. Tangible proof of this latest wild speculation.
Ira's voice is unexpected. All right then. This could be the best chance I'm gonna get to fight back in this trial. If I'm right, I'm gonna join all the dots together. Yeah. The evidence that explains the true nature of the sounds on this music box disc is, well, okay. So it's Morse code, but what does that, like, mean? What does this paper say? I can't find anything. Wait, no, come on. Come on, baby. There's a sensational story lower down the front page. Well, look. Ministry mole. Classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice. Her 10-year-old. Her certainly has her finger on the pulse of the news. It's about secret communication between Great Britain and its allies. Apparently, they're being intercepted by hostile nations. Communications are being intercepted? But how would somebody be doing that? It's the question, isn't it? I've come up with 3 different possible methods so far. You looking for a new career, Rona? No, of course not. I wonder. Perhaps that's what Lord Stronghart was talking about yesterday. Yes, it could be, and it can explain why he has Gregsy running from pillar to post at the moment. Single-person voice actor troupe is hard. It is difficult. It is very difficult. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to present this paper. Because that's all I got.
Take that!
Take it to the bank, the blood bank.
Today's paper, Council. The headline is, Pawnbroker perishes in pig purse plunder. Hardly supportive of her cause.
Ah, no, my lord. I was hoping you'd look a little further down the page.
Further down, Ministry mole. Classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice. Yes, this is a very serious matter, being investigated at the highest level, I understand. I have heard that international transmissions, along with supposedly secure lines, are somehow being intercepted and leaked to various other countries.
And presumably, those transmissions are in the form of wired telegrams?
Of course.
Juror number 5, your input, please. She's a telegram lady now.
Stop. Oh, me, sir? Whatever is the matter?
You told the court before that you worked at the same communication station as Mr. Graydon, did you not?
Yes, that's correct.
And the particular station where you work deals with government communications and newspaper reports.
Oh, yes, we're not your run-of-the-mill communication station at all. Our work is extremely important.
Then tell me, is this not a very familiar sound? Look at how confident he is.
Hmm? You don't mean to say, is it?
That's right, madam. It bears more than a passing resemblance to the sound made by your telegraph machine as you tap it. I believe it's called Morse code?
But...
Pipes3334, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Mew crew. How are you? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but when it comes to leaking telegrams from government departments, there could be nobody more perfectly placed than a highly skilled communications officer.
Are you suggesting that the music box disc contains stolen government secrets and Morse code?
Flute, help! Oh, excuse me. Hello, how are you? I burped in the middle of reading you.
Order, order, please, everyone, order! But this is... This is high treason, Council, deserving of capital punishment.
Too much new vocabulary. What is this treason? What is capital punishment? Sorts of word I have to expect you to know.
For a sovereign government's confidential information, hostile nations would surely pay almost any price.
Yes, and on that night 2 months ago, that was the very negotiation that was taking place inside the omnibus.
But in the end, McGilded perished, and the all-important disc lay unclaimed in the pawnbrokery.
I don't know those words in the line of work.
My word!
In which case, whoever stole that information in the first place must surely have been beside himself with worry. Because if the disc were to be discovered before it found its way out of the country,
it would reveal an act of high treason, punishable by death.
Bubba Wallace, hello! So the culprit had no choice but to retrieve it. And in order to do that, he would have to gain entry to the pawnbrokery illegally in the middle of the night. Because the article left behind by Mr. McGilded would incriminate him too much if it got into the wrong hands. Isn't that right, Mr. Graydon?
Oh!
He's upsetty spaghetti.
You think I've been stealing government secrets? Preposterous, absolutely preposterous. So, in response to the defense's accusation, you claim complete innocence, do you?
Well, of course I do. I've had to stand here in silence while that pretentious foreign lawyer has been prattling away.
Objection!
Then by all means, counter the charges, sir. The prosecution demands the witness testifies in response to the accusations brought by the defense. See, he's on our side now. He's not a bad guy, he's just cranky. Delighted, I'm sure.
The witness is reminded that the crime under scrutiny in trial is the murder of the pawnbroker, Mr. Windibank. That being a most flagitious offense, for which the law of this land sanctions a capital punishment. But the heinous act of high treason is no less a serious crime.
Frankie, I've been summoned. Cupcake, hello. How abnormal are you? He's not a bad guy. He's not a bad guy. He's just a bad guy.
I urge you to bear that in mind when you testify, Mr. Graydon.
Yeah, okay.
So then, let us proceed. You may...
What do you mean, hold it? Who said hold it? Oh! You gotta let us have a rabbit and pork here, Governor. We got things to say.
I beg your pardon?
Name's Nash Skulkin. Occupation is professional baddie. Name's Ringo Skulkin, but we ain't baddies enough to sell out our motherland.
That's right. We're what they call...
the Three Skulkin brothers. This entire case, they've been asserting that they're brothers with this two, and he's like, no, you're not. Sorry. Oh, hello, Crimson. Hey, you guys ever hear about that guy who got hit in the head with a soda can? He was lucky it was a soft drink. Hello, how are you? I love them so much. They're so silly. I was thinking, what if the Graydon's fake name is a reference to Benedict Cumberbatch? He does a lot of connection to Holmes. I mean, it's possible. Herlock Sholmes is in this game, right? So, like, I could see it. I don't know.
Bad timing, fellas. Very bad timing.
They don't want to... They're like, hey, we're not treasoners. A mere communications officer couldn't possibly steal confidential government information. Besides, the sounds produced by that music box aren't even Morse code. Some low-class brickmaker negotiating with McGilded anyway, was it not? I've no relation to the man. Look, all we done is break into the gaff the other night, like he told us what to do. If we'd known there was dodgy government secrets involved, we wouldn't have touched it. And two dress up with a homie in matching fits and assert someone's our brother. It's excellent. It's the way to be.
Mr. Skulkin.
What Mr. do, Governor? What's up?
Do I take it that you now admit to the crime? That on the night in question you did indeed gain entry to the premises illegally? And moreover, you did so as a party of three in collaboration with Mr. Graydon here.
did, Gov, we did! He's gonna fall off that box. His little foot was hanging off.
Quiet down, please. What say to that? What say you to that, Mr. Graydon?
I have no idea what these two ruffians are referring to.
You little rotter, getting us mixed up in all this monkey business. You never said nothing about no government secrets. It was supposed to be a straight-up job. And what about the geezer whose shop it was, eh? Poor bloke didn't have to die, did he?
Ugh. Nice to know who your friends are. Whatever these men say, I deny the accusations, no matter what. I gotta, listen, have you guys ever, listen, Crimson. Have you guys ever heard or watched of Black Lagoon? I don't know, you've got me here. And then Crimson's like, no, it's a show, and I'm like, it's like a regular show. I'm about to get tricked.
Indeed. Well, I certainly wasn't expecting this little music box to become so significant in the proceedings.
Your dog's laying with you. That's beautiful. Oh, Black Lagoon. Black Lagoon is an anime. I guess I've heard of it, actually. I've never seen it, though.
However, as it has, I will admit it into the court record as evidence.
Small music box. No, he's just a joke. No, I've never seen it. Is that like a mech one? That doesn't really have like a mech title, but something in my head says it's like a mecha anime. I might be thinking of something else. A communications officer couldn't possibly steal confident government information.
Hold it! Stop it!
So this news, oh, God.
Gunsling, hello.
Anime called Durara. That's the one with the lizard man, right? I watched one episode of that. It seemed pretty interesting. So is this newspaper headline accurate? Government communications are being intercepted? How could I possibly know? What do you mean by that? Many important government communications are handled by high-level officers, by specialists. General members of staff in the station where I work would never be entrusted with sensitive information. Oh no, stop! Must say something, stop! Let me guess. Yeah, she's gonna... Juror number 5! Lizard Man is... Dorio. Oh, shoot. Oh, wait, Durara is the... Is that the motorcycle cat girl, but she doesn't have a head or something? Is that Durara? So happy I'm not the only one who reacts to stumbling over... We regular communication station officers aren't as lowly as you're being led to believe. A team of us are responsible for setting up and testing the telegraphs used by the ministry. Dullahan. And Mr. Graydon is the team leader. That's fascinating. So he's straight up lying. Graydon is highly skilled operator. Stop. Currently in presence of idle. Stop. Oh, that's why she's got these eyes. That's funny. She's got a big old crush on him.
So you had access to the equipment used for this confidential communications, Mr. Graydon.
Well, what of it? The transmissions are always made behind closed doors, so they can't be heard. And in any case, all messages are being enciphered. Normal employees couldn't possibly understand them. Yeah, there's Blush, too. Not mech, it's anime that involves mercs finding and smuggling stuff. One of the characters cuss like a sailor. Hey, yo. I feel like I'd recognize the characters if I saw it. Oh no, stop! Must say something, stop! Mr. Graydon regularly attends meetings with ministry technicians and the ministry communications team. He assists them in ensuring that there are no errors in important international communications. And he's received the top prize at the Cipher Cracking Convention 5 years in a row now. That's fascinating. He's getting called out. Graydon is highly skilled operator, stop! Currently in presence of idle, stop! Well, your idol would appreciate it if you'd keep your mouth shut. She should really pick her idols more carefully. I tell you, this lawyer's accusations are completely unfounded. Besides, the sound produced by that music box aren't even Morse code.
Hold it!
That's true. Never meet your idols. They're not?
To anyone with a brain, that would be blatantly apparent on listening to that music box for even a few seconds.
Of course, of course.
Surely it can't be that my learned friend is unfamiliar with Morse code.
Ouch, he looks genuinely shocked at my ignorance. Ha ha ha. Who's laughing?
I would be more than happy to demonstrate the basics for you, sir.
Y'all ready for a lesson? A lesson here in court?
Morse code is a continuous series of two distinct notes, tones.
Tones, you say?
Yes, a short dot and a long dash. By combining those in different ways, you construct letters.
I see.
For example, this is A.
Beep, beep.
And this is B. But when you listen to the sound produced by this music box, you only hear one tone, don't you?
Oh, she's right. But it sounds so similar. The rhythm of it is the same in everything.
But there's no discernible meaning to this apparently random sequence of sounds.
You get through this like, bruh, I know you have to explain for the people who don't know, but come on.
Bruh. Though your assertion is fundamentally flawed, this is not Morse code.
No!
Ha 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 ha. Really, you shouldn't be so surprised. What did I tell you? That music box is nothing but a worthless piece of scrap. Perhaps you might consider studying your subject matter before casting aspersions in future.
Stop. Nothing to say but stop.
Oh, it's so frustrating, isn't it?
Iris?
I mean, if the government secrets were somehow being leaked using the music box, so many other things would slot into place so nicely.
Could there still be something I haven't considered? Would it really be impossible to use this music box somehow to play back Morse code? Let's, like, look at it. I haven't, like, examined it. Oh, hello there. Oh,
What is it, Rono?
I've just noticed something about this music box. It looks like the bottom of it opens up as well.
Ah, you're right. Well, come on now. What are you waiting for? Let's open it up.
All right, then, here goes. What's that? Look at that. There's another movement on the underside. So, does that mean you can set another disc to play it back on this slide?
Oh, yeah, because he said there were supposed to be 2 discs.
Yes, and he was, like, very confused, and we've never mentioned it again, except at the very, very beginning of this case.
Yes, I think so. And it looks like the 2 movements are linked together.
They're linked?
So if you had 2 discs, they would both play back at the same time.
Morse code can be used with a light, but in theory, you don't need 2 tones. Get the point across in the pin. Well, I think you can, if you do it with light, it's still just like a dot or a line, right?
Very worthless. So worthless you broke into somewhere and a person died.
Who'd have thought there'd be a second movement on the other side of the box? So this movement also only produces a single tone, like the other one?
Yes, it must have. Except that the length of the teeth on the 2 combs isn't the same.
So the single tone produced by this movement will be different to the single tone we've already heard. Oh, that was her. What?
Basically, each movement can only produce a single note.
But the notes they produce are different. Music box, it can only play 2 tones. Yeah, okay, alright. It can. So, just give it a try. There's still every possibility that this music box was instrumental in the leaking of government secrets. Do you get it? Do you get it, everyone? That's the belief of the defense, at least.
Objection!
Does it please you in some way, my Nipponese friend, to repeat the same line of argument ad infinitum? It's already been established that to be Morse code, 2 tones are required, dots and dashes.
Yes, I'm well aware of that.
Then what? Well, it would appear the defense has a hypothesis to put forward.
Excuse me.
You had better present your idea at once, Counsel. How do you propose that this music box, which appears to produce only a single tone, could have been used to cipher secret messages into Morse code?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, okay, I'll just reopen it. Already. Okay. Alright. Okay. I jumped the gun a little bit. I didn't know it was gonna just put me here. Let me just have this red first. I love how he spells it out for us. Okay, we'll present. Got it.
Good gracious! What am I looking at here? Another movement on the underside of the music box. What?
It appears, my lord, that the two movements are linked together. In other words, you can put two discs in this music box, and the sounds will both play back at the same time.
Good heavens!
As the court has heard, Morse code comprises of two tones, a short dot and a long dash. With a second disc in place, this music box could be used to generate Morse code and convey a message.
Bonk. This is beyond a joke.
I'm sorry?
This poor excuse for a lawyer has absolutely no evidence to support his claims. Though, of course, if my learned friend were able to present the court with the second disc, that would be another matter, well...
I can't, at the moment.
And may I remind the court that, as the witness has pointed out, he was not the one in the omnibus with McGilded 2 months ago, striking a deal over the disc or discs. Indeed, that was Mr. Mason, the brickmaker.
Exactly, I had nothing whatsoever to do with it. He's very adamant.
Though it has holes, I must admit the argument presented by the defense has much promise. I believe the cross-examination should continue.
The link between Graydon and the victim of the omnibus case must be here somewhere, but I haven't found it yet. Oh dear, it looks like you need to give your argument more strength right now.
We'll reiterate your testimony if you please, Mr. Graydon.
If I must, though I maintain exactly what I did at the start of this pointless cross-examination. Some low-class brickmaker negotiating with McGilded anyway, was it not? I've no relation to that. So 2 months ago in that omnibus, McGilded killed the brickmaker and stole the disc.
Mr. Mason was a single man with almost nothing to his name. It seems he lived in an artisan quarter some years ago, but people there remember little about him.
It doesn't make much sense, though, does it? How would a humble brickmaker come to acquire secret government information?
How indeed.
There must have been somebody else involved behind the scenes of all this. I think if Runo means a poem in Finnish, ooh, that's fun. Somebody who acquired the disc and gave it to Mr. Mason, in order to take it to the meeting with McGilded and negotiate a deal.
Dear me. You may have it in for me, sir, but I assure you, I have far more class than that.
An old brickmaker from an artisan quarter and this well-to-do communications officer. If only I could find some evidence to link the two of them together.
He's a dancer of some sort, certainly. You have nothing more to add on that note. Let us return to the witness testimony.
Look, all we done was break into the gaff the other night, like what he told us to do.
Hold it!
Like Mr. Graydon told you to do, you mean?
That's it, yeah, who else, eh? Silly me thought we was just popping over for a natter after all them years, but the rotter did a dodgy job for us. Hey, Ash?
Oh, they got roots. Let me stop you there, Mr. Skulkin. After all them years, you say? Do you mean to tell me that Mr. Graydon is an acquaintance of yours?
We're in the sociable kind of baddies, you know? Sure, let's say Graydon's an old china.
I don't know what that means. An old friend. What do you have to... Look at how happy he is.
Excuse me.
Something wrong, Mr. Skulkin.
Eh?
No, the other Mr. Skulkin.
What, me?
When your brother was testifying just now, he said something that seemed to cause you to react.
Oh, I was just remembering the old days, that's all. We used to have a right old laugh together way back when.
Together with Mr. Graydon, you mean?
Yeah, with Ash, I mean. Yeah, you look at him now, he's a fancy whistle and flute, and he wouldn't Adam and Eve it. But when we was younger, he was from the poor part of town, just like us.
Is that so?
But he was always a leery one, he had the brains, he had the savvy. Always coming up with smart ideas that what would never have gone through our heads.
God blimey, ain't that the truth? Remember Milverton and Skulkin's milk run? That was a corker, eh? Save it until after the trial. Your reminiscing has no place in this courtroom.
I love them.
And neither does your fruit.
Oi! The geezer asked us a question, didn't they? And we was answering. Yeah, we ain't done nothing wrong.
Nevertheless, the court is not prepared to accompany you on a trip down memory lane. Counsel, can we turn our attention back to the testimony, please?
Yes, this is the man with the grape juice or blood or whatever it is. I don't know, could that sentimental story be relevant somehow? Add it to the testimony. My lord.
Yes, counsel.
The brother's last sentimental statement could hold vital information relating to this case. Galaxy, hello, how are you?
Very well, counsel. I will permit the brothers to supplement their testimony with that detail. Briefly, I hasten to add.
Say tomorrow, Skulkin's never skulking.
Milverton and Milverton, that name sounds very familiar. What is his... Hold on. Can I not just look at the court record? I guess not. Because I want to look at people, but I guess I can't right now. You can't present people. Me right now, sleepy. Sleepy. Press it. I'm sure I'm going to regret asking, but what exactly was that? Some kind of business?
Just a little scheme we had going back when we was youngsters. Bit of fun, really. Delivering fresh milk to locals. That's what it was. That's what it was all about.
That sounds alarmingly legitimate. There must be a catch. I suppose since we're here, I should ask them to elaborate, but on what? The business name. Milverton. This business was just a bit of fun, you say? And it was just yourselves and Mr. Graydon involved?
Yeah, that's it.
Milverton and Skulkin's milk run, was it?
Yeah, that's it.
And where did the Milverton part come from?
Oh, right. I thought a clever clogs like you...
Oh. Enough of this. How much longer are we expected to listen to this drivel?
No. Let me guess, you don't accept anything these two witnesses are saying?
Tell me, why is it that it was only at the mention of the name Milverton that you decided to interject?
Because well...
It weren't the happiest of homes that one came from. Yeah, his old man was struggling for money so much his wife walked out on him.
She took the name Graydon then, you see?
But Ash will always be Milverton to us.
Milverton? That used to be your surname, did it?
Of course not. This is all bunkum. I've been a Graydon since I was born. Do you really think you can rely on the testimony of these two thieves, hmm? You're a communications officer attached to the civil service. As such, your personal details will have been thoroughly checked at the time of your appointment. It would be a very simple matter indeed to subpoena those records, Mr. Graydon. Well, it would appear that Mr. and Mr. Skulkin's testimony has been reliable, for once. You were born Ashley Milverton, then. Is that correct?
Very well. Yes. So Ashley Graydon was once Ashley Milverton. Information could change things and turn out to be extremely important.
Lara, thank you for the lurk.
Okay. I don't remember what Milverton was. All of a sudden, we seem to be up to our necks in a serious matter of national security. Although all this talk about interception of security government secrets, messages, is still conjecture at this stage.
It would explain a number of things, though, wouldn't it? The negotiation Jenny overheard on the omnibus 2 months ago and the break-in at Winterbanks. But the trouble is, it wasn't Mr. Graydon in the omnibus, but with Mr. McGilden.
No, that was Mr. Mason, the brickmaker who was so horribly murdered.
If only there was some link between the two men somehow.
I know, but Mr. Graydon, can I look at the people now? Yeah, now I can. Who's Milverton? I know I've heard that name before. But I can't remember why. Have fun figuring it out. Ah, heck. I don't remember. I mean, we'll figure it out. We'll get there. Mr. Graydon's testimony seems to have as watertight as ever. I wonder if the key is to us... I wonder if the key to us making headway with the cross-examination here would be those two brothers. What if I ask about the other thing? Yeah, I didn't press this yet.
Hold it!
Hold it! It jumped right to the end. So did you know nothing about this music box?
We didn't know nothing. We still don't know nothing. And we ain't planning on knowing nothing about it neither.
But 2 nights ago, you did indeed break into Windibank's pawnbrokery, didn't you? In your original testimony, you said that the door of the shop was ajar and that it was like some kind of a sign begging you to go in. But the truth is, you were planning to break into Windibank's all along, weren't you?
We were, Gov. We were. You're right there.
Because that's what he told us to do.
What was his plan?
Graydon says nothing. Why was it Mr. Graydon's plan to break into Windibank's that night? Did you not ask the reason?
Well, he said the place was full of stuff worth nicking. That's what he told us beforehand, anyway. Turned out it was a load of cobblers, didn't it? If I weren't pleased, I weren't best pleased, I could tell you.
In any case, if they knew the real reason, it doesn't sound like they're going to give it away. Alright, let's press this again and ask about the other thing, I guess. Alright, so they did the milk, milk. Oh, wait. They're saying different stuff. Hold on. Wait. How did your business work exactly?
Well, every morning down our way, the milkman would come with his cart to deliver milk, see? And if you stuck your empties outside your front door, he would leave them full again, right? So we swooped in on the action, got people to sign up with us. We promised to deliver milk for half the price the other geezer's doing it. People couldn't wait to sign on the dotted line. We were raking it in, weren't we?
So did you live on a dairy farm or something?
Gordon Bennett, you're off your rocker. We had nothing. We were too poor to have a farm.
Right.
No, what we had going was simple once he had the idea. We just switch them over, see? Our customers' empties with the full ones from anyone who wasn't on our books.
Oh my god, they were stealing milk.
A doddle, right?
I think you meant to say a diddle, and that's a crime.
It was because it was a harmless bit of fun, that's all.
Milking the general public in such a fashion is most certainly not harmless, as you put it.
Well, it was because of him we came up with the idea. Ash is the evil genius.
You mean Mr. Graydon? So Ashley Graydon was once Ashley Milverton. Okay, we already did this part. Alright.
Oh!
The Glitch Master! Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Mew crew. Alright, let's skip through all this.
Ah!
Oh, let's, Alright, okay. There it is. His name is Thrice-Fired Mason, but his name is Mason Milverton. Just actually, that's how they got us. Alright, thank you, Sasato. Okay, I have no relation to the man. Okay, yeah. Yay, thank you. Let's do it, baby. Get out of here with that bunk! Mr. Ashley Milverton. Tell me, why did you try to hide your former name from the court? Because I haven't gone by that name for years. It means nothing to me. Haley21278, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Mew crew. How are you? No, I don't think that's the real explanation at all.
Bonk.
The truth is, you had a reason to hide that name. How you doing, Haley? Oh, we've got him.
Explain yourself, please, counsel.
I have here the notes from the omnibus case, my lord. And as we all know, the victim, the man who we understand to have been negotiating with McGilded.
Yes, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker.
That's right, only Mason wasn't his surname at all, it was his given name. His full name was Mason Milverton. You doing alright? Ah, yeah.
Milverton? Do you mean to say Saints Alive?
Mr. Ashley Milverton, is it not the case that the brickmaker, Mr. Mason Milverton, was your father?
I don't.
As I believe I mentioned earlier, your family history will have been thoroughly checked when you join the civil service. It really would take no time at all for the court to subpoena those records. The truth is, you have been illegally acquiring highly confidential government information and selling it to McGilded in collaboration with your father. Ah! Woo! He's spinning. Little spinny boy.
Bonk.
The new facts and evidence unveiled by this cross-examination of this witness all come together to reveal the truth.
The truth, you say?
That you collaborated with your father, Mr. Mason Milverton, in illegal dealings with Magnus McGilded.
By dint of this music box, you mean, counsel?
Yes, stealing information being sent in secret government communications and selling it on to McGilded. Mr. Graydon concocted this elaborate scheme of using 2 music box discs to encode the information, as presumably a safety measure against the information falling into the wrong hands.
A very effective one. I shouldn't have given the scheme any credence whatsoever.
But the deal with McGilded went sour, and the brickmaker met his end. Yes, but before he was arrested, McGilded managed to temporarily dispose of the stolen disc at the pawnbroker. Then, having learnt of the situation, you appeared at Windibank's 2 days ago, in an attempt to recover the 2 articles McGilded had placed in pawn there. But that attempt failed. One of the discs was seized by the police, and the other you never found. So that same night, you enlisted the help of the Skulkin brothers and broke into the pawnbrokery. This time, determined to recover the second disc.
Are you suggesting that the second disc was inside the music box?
Eh? We never know nothing about that.
On the night that Mr. Windibank was killed, do it. Show me that thing. The intruder to the pawnbrokery touched one item and one item alone, the music box.
It's rather ingeniously demonstrated by using the 2 prints from the security camera, indeed.
So, the question that naturally begs answering is this. Why was only that one article disturbed? The answer is obvious, because it contained the second disc, which the intruder was desperate to retrieve. Since if it were to fall into the hands of the police, it would be proof of high treason. Well, Mr. Graydon, do you deny that all this actually began on that fateful night 2 months ago?
I refuse to accept any of this nonsense.
Sir, there appears to be blood seeping through the sleeve of your jacket. Oh my god.
What?
Ah! Got him. 2 nights ago, we know that 3 shots were fired at the scene of the crime in Windibank's pawnbrokery. Bang! One took the life of the pawnbroker himself. One struck the pouch around Mr. Sholmes' waist. And the final bullet struck the calendar on the wall of the shop, having first pierced the arm of one of the intruders. Mr. Graydon, that wound on your arm that you seem to be trying to hide, it's a bullet wound, isn't it? Got him.
He's got you now, me old China. Time to call it quits and croak, I reckon.
Don't acknowledge my presence there under any circumstances whatsoever. Those are my terms, remember, and I paid you handsomely to comply. Clearly, I was a fool to think I could trust some common back-slum thieves. Fine, I admit it. I was there in Windibanks that night. I paid this pair 10 guineas to accompany me, and as you've noticed, I sustained an injury in the course of my adventures. But that is all. I admit to nothing more. Stealing government secrets, negotiating with Mr. McGilded. Stop. As God is my witness. God is my witness. I'm sure I recall nothing of the sort. It's not going to go down without a fight. Not until I can show hard evidence, I suppose.
Nevertheless, the defense has now established a crucial fact.
Which is?
Well, we know that one bullet was fired from each of the two firearms we have in evidence. The bullet from the Skulkin brothers' gun hit the pouch around Mr. Sholmes' waist. And the bullet from Mr. Windibank's gun clearly must have been the one that caught Mr. Graydon in the arm.
Indeed it must! We can rule out the possibility that the man shot himself.
And that leads us to only one conclusion. Mr. Windibank was shot by a third gun, which can only have been fired by the third intruder.
Goodness!
That's right, Mr. Graydon.
Grrr.
The only person who could have possibly have shot Mr. Windibank that night is you! Got him. Hold it. Uh-oh. You gonna have a funny face? Ha 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 ha.
You little upstart. You made a grave mistake when you summoned me here.
What? What's that supposed to mean?
Yes, as you rightly say, I was there at the pawnbrokers. I did my best to hide the fact, naturally. I had no intention of ruining the distinguished career I'd built for myself at the communication station. But did the thought never cross your mind? Did you never consider the possibility?
What do you mean? What thought? What possibility?
The possibility that if I was there at the scene, I may have witnessed the crucial moment. You see, this makes me a key witness in this case, and I have my hands firmly around the neck of your client.
What?
Are you suggesting? I saw it all. I saw the very moment that pickpocket girl pointed the gun at the poor defenseless pawnbroker and shot him.
You, what? I don't know that he's really a particularly reliable witness.
Order, order, order. Well, it would seem we are finally entering the last act of this theatrical trial. Mr. Graydon. Yes? I trust you are fully aware of the implications here. If it is shown that your claim is false, you will have incriminated yourself as the killer. Oh, I understand fully. But I must ask you give your formal testimony once more. You will explain to the court precisely what you saw at the moment the defendant allegedly shot the victim.
Nothing would give me greater pleasure. Alright, calm down. Calm down, baby. This testimony.
Moment of the shooting.
I'm gonna take a real quick bathroom break, and then we'll continue with this testimony. I'll be right back, babies. Star, how you gonna show up the moment I leave? How you gonna show up the second I leave? How you gonna do that? Hello. All right, cross-examination time. Ah! How dare.
While these ruffians were jostling with the broker, I was still near the entrance to the shop. When Windibank threw Nash over the counter, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. I'm sorry, no, I'm just fooling. I pursued the man, but he shut himself in the storeroom. I could see him through the peephole in the door, though. The accused, in a black coat, shot the man in the back as he was trying to flee to safety. I saw the blood spatter all over that wretched girl. She didn't have any blood on her. Then she tossed the gun out of the peephole, so I picked it up and made my escape. Oh, okay. Sure, no, for sure. But gracious, this is quite extraordinary testimony. You claim, sir, under oath, to have clearly seen the defendant pulling the trigger. Order, order, order! It wasn't my intention to testify in this way. But neither is it my intention to be found guilty of a murder I didn't commit. Yeah, dance about it. So you see, my hand has been forced. I tell the truth now as an act of self-preservation. Oh, this is McGilda's music. The truth? Until now, the prosecution was completely unaware of these details. Yes, well, sorry about that. Having shot me in the arm, the pawnbroker was then shot in the back by the accused. What is their relation, these two? And as I said, she was showered in his blood, but she wasn't, though.
Wow, Cloniverse! Hello, Raiders! My name is Comfy Catboy, and we are playing, the prequel Ace Attorney games. This guy's a vampire. He's gonna drink your blood. Sorry, not. Hashtag sorry, not sorry. How are you? All of my bots and things are, like, not working. Unfortunately. So what were you guys playing? It's supposed to pop up and tell me that and show you on screen and all that, but it didn't. It didn't do it. Hello, hello. Y'all get to hear me do pretty bad English accents across the board. Only Up, that game looks so interesting, and, like, I would love to play it and also hate to play it at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm doing so... Oh, I fell. Oh. Oh, I have to start over? Oh. Did you beat it? Did you get far? I don't know. Can you save in that game? I don't really know a lot about it. Your model's so cute. Thank you. Thank you. It's so frustrating. No! Oh my gosh. All right. I do all the voices in this visual novel. No, I didn't. Oh man. So get ready to hear it all, baby. This guy's a vampire. So you say the blood spattered on the oh my god. So you say the blood spattered over the accused coat. Are you sure on that point? You have to lurk for a bit. Yeah, go get a lunch or a dinner. I don't know. I'm not sure what time it is. Probably dinner time. It looked easy. It looks easy, but you have to bat 1,000. Hope you have an amazing day. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. I don't know. Did it shout you out even? Oh wait, let me make sure that it does. Just in case that it didn't. Let me make sure. Let me do the thing. I don't know if it'll work. Everything's like super broken right now, so I'm like doing my best. That work? Yeah, okay. Doesn't show. Oh, it does show up on screen. Okay. Dope. Okay. Oh yes, quite sure. All over the black overcoat that pickpocket girl was wearing at the time. Really? Oh, she did have blood all over her. If her coat could somehow be shown to harbor vestiges of blood, that would be conclusive evidence here. It does have blood on it. Uh-oh. That's not good. But it's not that guy's blood.
Such an investigation is entirely possible, my lord.
What?
Only very recently, a German scientist has developed a technique to identify human blood. Like in this cup. So here's to true science, not some amateurish detective's dubious foray into the world of chemistry.
There's nothing dubious about Harry's work. His ideas are all sound.
Ideas are no use to us here in science. As in law, theories must be proven before they stand. In Germany, the technique has already been employed in the courtroom as the basis of evidence. Scotland Yard has a small quantity of the chemical reagent used, with your lordship's permission. Ah! We could shatter all vestiges of doubt within minutes.
This doesn't look good, Rano.
Why not?
Well, we know, don't we? That there's blood all over the front of Jenny's coat. If they test it with their chemicals...
Oh, help, you're right. I was forgetting what happened yesterday. But this was Mason's blood.
Don't move, Jenny, I'm gonna shoot!
But it's all purpo. That's not Mr. Windibank's blood. That stain is from 2 months ago. It's Mr. Mason's blood from when he was stabbed by McGilded, who was wearing the coat at the time. My lord, the defense objects to the test proposed by the prosecution.
None overruled. Lord Van Zeeks, make it so at once.
Yusuke, hello. How are you?
With pleasure, my lord. While we await the results, the defense may proceed with the cross-examination.
Uh-oh. Once they find blood, it's all over. Gina will be...
Counsel!
Yes, my lord.
Cross-examination.
Of course, my lord. This cross-examination doesn't go well. I don't manage to uncover some decisive evidence or a really compelling clue now. I have a very bad feeling about the outcome of this trial. Yeah, no, we know. I'm good. I'm doing also good. I'm glad to hear it. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, ba boo ba. Let's see. Okay. We're gonna press everything.
Hold it! Hold it!
Mr. Windibank emerged from the storeroom, I believe.
Ruffians!
Ray, hello.
Ringo and Nash were scouring the counter when he suddenly appeared and flew at them.
Thomas, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Mew crew. How are you?
He already had the revolver in his hand. Fortunately, I wasn't too close. Excuse me.
I've never been so scared in all my life. Yeah, we're just your regular mild-mannered burglars, that's all. We don't like violence.
Says the pair who carry a gun. What do you mean when you say you were near the entrance to the shop?
I was in the doorway, running my eyes over the shelves of forfeited items.
Looking for the music box, of course.
The broker went for Nash in the first place. Then Ringo joined in, making it 2 against 1, so I assumed they can handle the situation. But I was wrong.
I was trying to help me little bruv, but the old geezer chucked me over the bloomin' counter. So I pulled me gun on the old fella, and that soon made him scarper.
A pair of you setting upon the
I do that.
A pair of you setting upon the poor defenseless pawnbroker together, shame on you.
Sorry, Gov.
Windibank threw Nash over the counter. I felt a sharp pain in my arm.
You mean that's the moment you were shot?
Yes, though it didn't immediately I didn't immediately realize what had happened, of course. Things crashed to the floor from the counter as the 3 men were brawling. It was at exactly that moment that it happened, so I didn't hear the gunshot.
And that bullet went on to strike the calendar in the wall behind you.
So it would appear. When I looked at my arm, I saw it was bleeding badly, so I wrapped my handkerchief around it. Seeing as I couldn't explain what had happened to a doctor, I had no choice but to wait for it to heal. I didn't imagine it would still be bleeding 2 days later. Did Mr. Windibank intend to shoot you, do you think?
I'm super late. No, never ending well. He's admitted to the crime, and now he's trying to say that it was Gina after all.
Well, now, I don't imagine that he even noticed I was there, to be honest. Perhaps the gun went off accidentally. Anyway, it didn't quite strike home.
When I pulled me gun on him, he tried to shove me out of the way. And then he scampered through that door and back.
At which point, what did you do?
I pursued the man, but he shut himself in the storeroom. I could see him through the little peephole in the door, though.
Hold it! Hold it! You mean you chased after him?
I don't recall the reason why, but I ran after him to the back of the shop.
And what about the peephole in the door you mentioned?
Well, unsurprisingly, the storeroom door's a solid job, made of stout wood. But there's a small opening in it about head height that lets you see what's in there from the outside.
Actually, I should know that, shouldn't I? I looked through it myself that night.
And what about you burgling brothers? Did you see what went on through this peephole as well?
Not likely, Gov. Didn't see nothing of the sort, Gov.
I doubt these two buffoons were even aware of the peephole's existence.
Well, the Skulkin brothers were there, but they didn't see the killing of Mr. Windibank take place.
Inside the storeroom, I could see the broker and that young girl standing there.
The defendant?
Yes, though neither of them noticed that I was looking. The girl raised her gun and pointed it straight at the man.
And then, what did you see next?
All right. The accused, in a black coat, shot the man in the back as he was trying to flee to safety.
Hold it! Doesn't really make sense. Like, where? Why? Yes, when the crime was discovered, the defendant was found with a gun in her hand. That was Mr. Windibank's gun, from which only a single bullet had been fired. And as we've already established, Mr. Graydon, that bullet was fired at you.
But no, it wasn't the broker's gun that the pickpocket girl had when I saw her. Yes, the bullet from Windibank's gun grazed my arm, and yes, the Skulkin's gun grounded the detective. But this was another gun entirely, a third gun. The broker's gun was not the murder weapon, so clearly there had to be a third firearm involved. In other words, the accused must have had her own gun with her at the time.
Objection! But no other gun was found at the scene.
Calm yourself, counsel.
Sorry?
You must consider the events in order. At first I saw the broker and the girl glaring at each other, and then all of a sudden, the broker turned to run. And it was at that moment that the little gutter rat shot him in the back.
A chilling image, I must say.
Doesn't make any sense. Run where?
I saw the blood spatter all over that wretched girl.
All over her?
Yes, through the peephole I saw it clearly. Of course, the stains are invisible now, with the coat being such a dark color.
Guy's so obviously pulling everything out of his butt. I don't know why the jury is believing this.
But I assure you that garment is sullied with the victim's blood.
Well, it is sullied with blood, that's for sure. But it's not Mr. Windibank's blood, is it? No, that's right. It's Mr. Mason Milverton's blood from when McGilded stabbed him 2 months ago. It's so annoying. If only they'd accept Harley's chemical analysis, we could prove that. Miracle Eddie justice was served before Ryunosuke came here, yeah. But they won't, so unfortunately, we can't use it as evidence to support our case. Father.
Then she tossed the gun out of the peephole, so I picked it up and made my escape.
Hold it! Did I hear you correctly? She threw the gun out of the room?
That's right. After the broker fell to the floor, she started walking over.
Over where exactly?
In the direction of the storeroom door, to where I was watching. Of course, I quickly retreated, and then the girl dropped the gun through the peephole onto the floor at the side of the door.
Why on earth would she do such a thing?
I couldn't tell you. Perhaps she was hoping to distance herself from the murder weapon. Without thinking, I went and picked it up. I suppose I was worried about just leaving it there in case any more tragedies took place. So it was you, in fact, who took the third gun from the scene of the crime? Yes, it was yours truly. I left the clear up to my lackeys and left.
Clear up? We made a bit of a mess around the counter, so Mr. Whistle and Flutie had told us to tidy up. He thinks our blooming mum sometimes.
Well, I was paying you enough, by God.
Tell me, Mr. Graydon, when you left the pawnbrokery that night, was it by any chance with the second disc in your jacket pocket?
You little toe rag!
Whoa. You're like a bull at the gate, won't he?
Whoa, it's happening!
Excuse me!
Gentlemen!
Oh my God. He's the inspector. Something wrong, Sunshine?
That should be my line. You do realize you were just violently shaking Mr. Skulkin.
I was even dancing around with a bullet wound. It's crazy. I think it just grazed him. I don't think it has a bullet, like, it's on the thing, so he's just like a silly Billy, you know?
Well, I mean, that's a wee bit of an ogling, ain't he? What was going on just now? You saw me grab me whistle. Why the blazes, he said. Didn't you mention the third gun when we got you down to the station?
And why didn't you?
'Cause we didn't know nothing about it. Or that flaming peephole in the door.
Sorry about that. I can be prone to losing my rag sometimes. Not hurt, are you?
Oh, blimey. See the way he's looking at me? I'm telling you, that D gives me the willies.
That was strange. Inspector doesn't normally get quite as worked up as that. He wouldn't normally grab someone.
No, that wasn't like Greg's at all. He's normally all sweetness and light, no matter what I say to him.
Yes, well, I think you might be a special case, Iris.
Well, anyway, that was definitely out of character.
That's crazy.
My lord! Requesting your lordship's permission to interrupt the cross-examination. Explain yourself, officer. I have the results of the test that was ordered earlier, my lord.
Ah, the blood on the accused's overcoat.
Thank you, officer. Very well. The cross-examination is hereby temporarily suspended. I presume you have no objection, counsel.
No, my lord.
Well, there you have it.
The report, please, Inspector.
Yes, sir. Traces of human blood were found on the overcoat of the defendant, Mrs. Jean Lestrade. From the extent of the stains, it would appear that they were the result of spattering following a gunshot wound. End of report. Goodness me!
But he knew that. See, what did I tell you?
Objection!
No, the blood on that coat is not Mr. Windibank's.
What on earth makes you say that, counsel?
The coat originally belonged to Magnus McGilded. Just before his coat was deposited at Windibank's, McGilded had fatally stabbed Mr. Mason Milverton. So the blood on that overcoat is the blood of the brickmaker from the omnibus case.
Objection!
Well, the dead cannot speak. Isn't that right, my Nipponese friend? Sorry? That is an endless bottle. 2 months ago in this very courtroom. Did you not argue fervently for McGilded's innocence? And yet, now that the man is dead, you brand him as a murderer.
Stop!
Your conduct shatters any shred of respect you may have earned yourself in this country.
Mewtwo, hello! Saw one of my posts on Twitter the other day. Glad I catch a stream. Thank you so much. I'm doing great. How are you doing? Hello, hello. He's drinking so much court wine. I don't think he's drinking most of that wine, Star. He's just using it for emphasis. Huh, but that was...
I call it a bally disgrace. Treachery is what it is. How do I determine the blood on that coat is 2 months old or not? Even a stereoscope couldn't help to answer that problem out. That problem to pop out, it can't be done.
But, we used Mr. Sholmes' specially formulated chemicals.
Mr. Sholmes is a detective, not a chemist. Would you put such faith in a chemical formula devised by me, for example, when I'm a communications officer? I held that Broski for starving boy, and he ran away crying.
What? Having breakfast. My voice acting is good. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Herlock Sholmes is barely more than a figment of the public's imagination. His name carries no weight in this courtroom. No weight at all.
How could you say that? Oh! Hydrate, thank you. Do I have to professionally? No, but I wish.
If anyone's hiring. Victory is sweet indeed. This proves that my testimony is the whole truth from start to finish. How do you arrive at such a conclusion, sir?
Ow! Never too late to start. Hell yeah.
As the witness said, the accused coat was spattered with the blood of the victim. The only way Mr. Graydon could possibly have known that fact is if he saw it happen. In other words, his testimony is solid and the conclusion is singular. It was the accused who shot the victim in this case. That is the whole truth.
Ah! Lots of people get into it just starting from their hobbies. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of doing that just with, like, streaming, right? My lord.
Been a long battle, this one, but this old warhorse has something to say now, if you please. Mr. Foreman, as of this moment, sir, the squadron has reached its final decision. Ready, man? All for one now.
Uh-oh. Sir!
Guilty.
Uh-oh.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
They're so trusting
Guilty.
of
Guilty.
a liar. He's a proven liar. He does it with his head.
Oh my god.
Bonk.
Well, it would appear the ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached a unanimous verdict.
Now he's drinking it. I think ProZD started with his skits. It's true, yeah.
The defense has consistently failed to unpick this witness's testimony. Here's to any attempt you may make at unpicking the jurors' decisions being equally successful.
So many. I don't believe it after I've come so far. How is it all unraveling on me so fast? That's a good question. How very distressing. Who's saying this? To be held in such low esteem. Who is it? Oh. Is that Herlock Sholmes?
Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? Officer? You've delivered the report now. That will be all. Thank you.
I think that's Herlock. I'm gonna give him Herlock's voice. This is my first playthrough of this part, yeah. So I'm gonna. It occurs to me with some regularity, Mr. Naruhodo, that scientific truths are determined not by science, but by none other than the human mind. I know that voice. Yeah, is it Sholmes? Come on. Am I going mad? Ah! Yeah, do it! Hell yeah! Mr. Sholmes! He's so silly.
What is the meaning of this? Order! What business do you have here, detective? The last I heard, you were recuperating in hospital.
As well I would be, had I not been set upon an errand. It is, yeah, I'm playing this on Steam. The Steam sale is officially over. But it was probably on sale.
What errand?
Hello, it's you, you're awake at last.
Yeah, the sale, for me at least, ended 20 minutes ago. Yes, good day, Iris. I appear to be rather late to rise. My apologies. Now, my lord, if you will humor me.
What manner, sir?
I have something of great importance I wish to give to the young lawyer over here. I need no more than 5 minutes. Would you be so kind as to spare us the time?
What say you to this, Lord Van Zeeks? This trial has taken many hours of the court's time, having spent so long already.
Exactly, having spent so long already, we don't want to go waste any more precious time.
As I was saying, having spent so long already, it would seem churlish to deny the defense a mere 5 minutes. Very well then, counsel. You have 5 minutes.
I'm gonna spend them. Where'd he get it? He changed! My dear fellow, I apologize for my tardy arrival. Mr. Sholmes, are you all right now? All right, I'm all wrong. Sorry? I've only just managed to summon the strength to stand, man. I asked the judge for 5 minutes. Woo! But I fear even that may prove too much for me. Pray forgive me should I pass out. Let's make this discussion as short as possible. Holly, this place is full of idiots. None of them can see how wonderful your chemical blood analysis is. Ah, well, that concoction of mine was really just a bit of sport to assist me in my investigations. I never took the trouble to refine it for appraisal by the scientific community, an oversight on my part. Right, modesty? Surely not. The sale's still on for you? Oh, hell yeah! Okay, hell yeah. Is it not, am I wrong? Let me open, am I a silly Billy? No, it's over for me. Okay. I was like, did I? Okay. But enough of that. I'm here to give you this, my dear fellow. What's that? A lavender furoshiki wrapping? A leaving present from Miss Sasato. From Miss Sasato? She just pops out of it. If possible, matters were to be settled without me giving you this. Those were her instructions when she asked me to do this favor. I don't understand. Miss Sasato foresaw today's events, I believe. She knew that the culprit would attempt to escape justice by means both devious and underhand. And that you, Mr. Naruhodo, fighting fairly as you are wont to do, would find yourself in considerable peril. At that very moment of crisis, you were given this small parcel. You were to be given this small parcel. Those were the dear lady's instructions. A leaving present from Sasato-san. Whatever could it be? Open it. What is that? What is this? Oh! It's the machine I made! Ah! What is it? Oh, the door hole thing? Meow. Look, I use this. It's my latest invention. What is that? I call it the cat flappomat. I can make a cat flap for a little furry friend like Waggy in seconds. What's Susie up to? Miss Sasato muttered the following words before she left. I'm a failure. I don't deserve to be a judicial assistant. What? Didn't she say something like that? The night before. You really are the best judicial assistant in the world. Well, that's extremely flattering. I miss doing her voice, but I'm sorry to say that I've been a complete failure. Whatever did she mean by that, Mr. Sholmes? That night, when you left Windibanks in pursuit of the thieves. My wish was to discount you there, but my card disappeared. No! Oh, that's tragic. Miss Sasato made use of this contraption for a certain purpose. That is your answer, dear fellow. Not at all cryptic, then. Sasato-san used this cat flappomat that night, but why? Cat flappomat has been entered into the court record. He sent me the Prime Cell. What'd you get? Did everyone get good Prime Cell stuff? No! You're so wasteful!
Your 5 minutes is over.
Ah! We're out of time already? I'm grateful to you for affording us that brief recess, Mr. Reaper.
I no need thanks, detective. After all, I need no thanks. The die is cast.
About picking stuff? I didn't buy anything. I didn't know about it.
Is it really? The jurors are unanimous in their leanings. No doubt my learned friend will consider a summation examination. But any attempt to alter the verdict now would be utterly futile.
Excuse me. I wonder. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes?
The rest is up to you. Is down to you, dear fellow. What is your plan?
The rest is down to me. I need to be careful here. If I make a wrong move, the trial will end badly. My lord, the defense requests I mean, right? What should I pick? Yeah, let's do more cross-examination. Let's do that. Further cross-examination.
Objection!
The jurors have spoken. Protocol dictates that you may not cross-examine a new witness now.
Objection!
The defense is not asking for the cross-examination of a new witness, rather to continue the one of an existing witness.
What?
It would appear that a rather important detail has escaped your attention, Mr. Reaper.
My lord.
Requesting your lordship to interrupt the cross-examination. Yeah, it was interrupted.
Thank you, officer. Very well. The cross-examination is hereby temporarily suspended. We have no objection, counsel.
No, my lord. Yeah, we gotta ask him. We gotta get him some. So nobody can say anything then! If we're not asked to resume his cross-examination of Mr. Graydon, the court is obliged to allow it.
This is absurd.
He needs to go shop on German one. Here.
I would remind those present that this is my courtroom. I concur that the defense is entirely within its rights to request the continuation of the cross-examination. However, I will not permit an unremitting protraction of these proceedings. Therefore, I have decided to afford the defense one final opportunity in concluding the cross-examination. Counsel, you must choose but one statement from the witness's testimony, and but one piece of evidence to present in support of your argument against it.
A single chance to present evidence.
If following that, the situation remains...
I'm gonna... Listen. I'm saving. You can't stop. I'm saving. Might not like my payment information. It's for a different country. Oh, yeah. Amazon. Corporate overlords.
Save it up. Following that, the situation remains unchanged. I will move to adjudication. Is that clear, counsels?
Okay.
My lord.
Yes, my lord.
Stop it. Get some help.
A single statement and a single piece of evidence. Most generous. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, it's high time I fell into a dead faint. I leave this in your capable hands. Oh! I love him. Mr. Shobes! Oh, he's so silly.
Stand so what? So shantily before the court in a state of such high fever. Either the man has extraordinary strength of mind or extraordinarily lack of feeling. I imagine he's feeling very little now. The detective is sleeping soundly in one of the antechambers.
Like a man when he's down, why don't you? 30 late to the sale. No! Yeah, it ended during this stream. Yeah, it's always tricky because it's like, oh, it'll end on this day, but like, for me, it's in the morning. So I don't know why they do that.
Well then, counsel, are you fully prepared?
I gotta pour more tea. Yes. One statement, one piece of evidence. I have a new piece of evidence. I won't let Sholmes down now, or Iris. Woo! Pouring my tea. And I won't waste the final chance this Sato-san has given me. This is going to decide the entire outcome of the trial!
Very well then, under the terms I have outlined, you may resume the cross-examination.
I bought everyone's real hype on that, Dave the Diver game. So I bought that, I bought Gang Beasts, and I bought Tunic, which is like a Zelda-ish Metrovania thing where the whole point of it is that you're not given instructions. I was really tempted to buy Elden Ring, but I just know I won't, like, play it. So I didn't want to. I'm like, I can wait for it to go on sale. If it went on sale once, it'll go on sale again. It's ruffians are jostling with the broker. Oh, the music's different. Oh! Near Astra with a raid! Oh! Oh my goodness, thank you so much. I'm gonna like, Elden Ring is a commitment. I gotta shout you out, but I gotta move over. Because everything's broken. My whole stream is a broken disaster. Oh! Hello! How is your stream? How is Final Fantasy 16? Is that game fun? I want to play it. But it's crazy. Alright, so we're at the end of this thing. I do all the voices, everyone. My name is Comfy Catboy, and I do all the voices. A little dark, but it is Final Fantasy. I like it. I like that. All the voices. It seems like a real Game of Thrones style of Final Fantasy, which is not a type we've seen before. But I also see a lot of people like complaining about it, so I don't really know who to trust, you know what I mean? Sir Pokenite, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Mew crew. Alright. It's so Game of Thrones. I like Game of Thrones, even though it ended badly. It then tossed the gun out of the people, so I picked it up. Alright, let's just, I mean, like... Do I need to look at this thing? Can I? What's this? I'd like... Whoa! Woo! Those vicious teeth look like they could rip through almost anything. They're good, aren't they? They're made of a special alloy I developed just for this job. First Final Fantasy game I ever played? Really? Interesting. I know... I don't know if... I think it's Star Spice who was telling us they've never played a Zelda game, and I'm just like... What? How? How is that possible? If anyone's watching Attack on Titan, at the end of that show, it's gonna be final season. Final season Game of Thrones! I'm up to date on it. No spoilers, of course. But, final season Game of Thrones was not good. But I'm liking the new... the end of this one. They're good, are they? Oh, I read that. The cutter rotates 10 times per second, so it can get through any kind of door in no time at all. Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts! You gotta play Kingdom Hearts. And what are those two parts up at the top there? Ah, those are for attaching hinges to the section of door that gets cut out. Right, of course. Nothing can match this machine for power. It can make mincemeat of even the toughest of doors. Sounds so charming and friendly when you say what it's for, but feels like the reality the cat Flap-O-Mat is that it's just a grim weapon of door destruction. Why, guy's so adorable. There's nothing I wouldn't do for him, even developing deadly weapons! Link's Awakening is one of my favorite. I played the original one, like, to death. Like, I didn't have a Game Boy Color, so I had to, like, get a Game Boy Color. Let's try it!
Objection!
Let's bluff, I guess.
What on earth is that eccentric contraption, Council?
What? Kitty recognizes greatness. It's true, it's true. Y'all are sweet. Oh, it's my cat Flap-O-Mat, my lord. It makes a way for cats to get in and out of a room. It can cut through any door you can think of, and make a new little door in the middle of it. That's right, my lord. It's a device for creating so-called cat flaps. Small doors for cats to come and go as they please, without their owners having to open the main door.
I'm sure we can all work that out for ourselves.
Ah!
But that cat lover's contrivance has no possible relevance to this case.
Oh, really?
Of course it doesn't. To start with, there was no cat flap in the pawnbroker's door. Of being a keeper of cats myself, I'm afraid I fail to see what this has to do with the matter at hand.
Perhaps it would help if I described its function another way, then. I grew up watching my older brother play all the Zelda games. Hell yeah. I'm also gonna... Oh, shoot. For all the new people and the people that have been hanging out... Does that work? Yeah, I have to type everything in right now. Join the Discord if you're having a good time. It's a beautiful place full of lovely people. They sat on my lap and now I can't get my noodles. No! Lycanthropic, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Mew crew. Don't turn into a werewolf, please. Please and thank you. Space Station Meowmers. This contraption is able to create a peephole in any door you can imagine in practically no time at all.
I beg your pardon, a peephole, you say?
2 nights ago, We arrived at the scene only minutes after the murder of Mr. Windibank had taken place.
That's right. According to the paperwork at the yard, it was you, your Japanese assistant, and Sholmes.
Yes, the three of us were together, and it's recently come to my attention that my assistant made use of this device at the time.
Your assistant did what?
There was a peephole in the storeroom door. I can attest to that. This company's favorite planet? Uranus. Because I looked through the peephole myself in order to see the locked storeroom.
This is ludicrous. What are you trying to say? Of course there was a peephole in the door. I said as much in my testimony. How else could I have witnessed the crime, for pity's sake?
Yes, how could you?
What? Counsel, kindly say what you mean.
All right, it's time. Time to strike the final blow. What I mean is this, my lord. My assistant made the peephole in the storeroom door, and until such time as she did, the door had no hole in it to look through.
What? No!
I think he's lying.
Objection.
I don't think that's true.
This is a farce. What are you really suggesting that the peephole in the door was...
Yes, it was created only after the incident had taken place, by my judicial assistant using this device.
Your assistant tampered with the crime scene while being fully aware of the gravity of her actions. This is a most serious act of vandalism.
For which I humbly apologize, my lord. It was in the few minutes that I left the scene in order to pursue the Skulkin brothers and alert the police. Nevertheless, in the light of this new information, it becomes apparent that Mr. Graydon's testimony is riddled with holes.
Riddled with... Explain yourself, counsel.
The majority of Mr. Graydon's testimony that appears to incriminate the defendant is based upon what he witnessed through the peephole in the storeroom door.
Yes, that filthy girl shooting the man in the back.
However, at the time of the incident, that peephole did not yet exist in the door. There's no possible way that you could have seen what you claim to have. Grr. In short, your entire testimony is a pack of lies! Grr! Gorf!
Order, order, order! Is there any credence to this revelation?
Objection!
None whatsoever, as my learned friend must surely realize.
Exactly, this is just some cheap trick designed to discredit me. I'm afraid not, sir.
Of course it did. Do you seriously expect people to believe that plaything can cut through a solid wooden door?
Oh yes, I designed it to be very powerful. It can cut through even the toughest of doors.
That's absurd. I don't believe it for a second.
Haha, I had a feeling you'd say that.
What?
Waggy Curry, time for dinner.
Oh my god, they made one in the in the courtroom door. Brought your cat's court. Well,
Young lady, this is the Old Bailey. One does not make cat flaps in the oak battling at the Old Bailey.
I'm not done yet, don't worry. This doesn't mean that the peephole in the storeroom door at Windibanks was made by your machine. There's no way you can prove that it was.
No, but it's easy.
Oh, is it in the pictures? Oh my god, how did we all overlook that? That's crazy. I had no idea. Yeah, now there it's there! Oh my god. What?
The cat flaps my cat flap creates are all of a fixed size. And the dimensions of the peephole at Windibanks are an exact match. Haha, old Silky's lost for words.
Excellent work, Iris. Thank you.
And now, it's my learned student friend's turn to be lost for words, I feel. I believe your judicial assistant has already left the country for your Eastern Island home.
Well, yes, that's true.
Then you may have some difficulty in establishing all of the facts. For the sake of argument, let us assume the peephole has dimensions that are a perfect fit for this contraption.
What's going on in this? I have no idea. This has been such a long trial, that's okay. This is the last episode of this stream. We're gonna, I think I'm gonna take a break before we start the second game. I want to play Ghost Trick next week, I think. I'm not 100% that I'll do that, but, I have to buy it still. It didn't go on sale. It's a brand new game, but it's one of my favorite games from the original DS, and it's incredible, and I want everybody to experience it because it's the best.
In that case, when was the peephole cut? The prosecution demands proof of your answer.
I just looked it up.
What's the purpose of your line of inquiry, Lord Van Zeeks? It's very simple, my lord. The defense argues that the peephole was created after the incident using this device.
Like Ghost Trick back in the day. It's one of the best games, like, ever made, in my opinion. I love it so much. And it's made by a lot of these same people, the Ace Attorney team. So, I love it. I love it.
But now that the perpetrator has returned to her native land, she cannot testify to the fact. There is no proof. And for as long as the defense remains unable to prove when the peephole was made, my learned friend's claim amounts to nothing more than a baseless accusation.
What? Come on. It's in the pictures. Kind of. It's sort of hard to explain. It's, sort of. It's sort of a visual novel game, but it's got like gameplay. So it's kind of like a puzzle game, kind of a thing. After the sales end. What is that? Put that in the Discord, Yushi. Because I will forget. My memory is that of a goldfish. But if you put it in like video gaming, I'll check it out. I love puzzle games. It's so good, but it's like a story puzzle game where there's just one big mystery. It's just one big story. It's not like an Ace Attorney game where there's kind of multiple stories, you know what I mean? Different cases. It's all one big story. I was there. Let me fix that. Yeah. Could somebody do the thing? I can't type in my own chat easily. Goldfish, but aren't you a Catboy? What? What?
Indeed, that is so, Lord Van Zeeks. Well, counsel?
Don't give up now, Renner! Catboy with the brain of a gold. Just the memory of a gold, not the brain. I got a big brain, but it's got bad memory. But it's down below. Hell yeah, okay. This is the time to create your own opening and force your own way through. I don't know if I can do this, but I do know one thing. Sato-san is the greatest judicial assistant in the world.
Very well. The counsel for the defense will present evidence to support the claim made. Proof that the peephole in the door of Winterbank's storeroom was created after the event and not before.
It's this first photo. Right? Yeah, it's not there now. Present. Present. Not enough wrinkles, smooth brain.
What are you? A print from that detective's infernal cameras again.
My judicial assistant, Miss Sasato Mikotoba, is an extremely intelligent and capable woman. Which is why I never had any cause to doubt that she would have considered this scenario and made sure I had the necessary proof.
And the necessary proof is his photographic print, counsel.
This print shows a scene in the print shows a scene in the shop moments after the defendant entered the premises.
Agreed. And it also shows the accused mercilessly wielded a gun in the direction of the defenseless broker.
But more to the point, it pictures the storeroom door in the background.
Let me see that print again. I don't believe it. It really is quite remarkable. The door to the storeroom is completely devoid of a peephole of any description.
Mr. Graydon, you couldn't possibly have witnessed the crime as you claim to have done. Because at the time it happened, there was no peephole in the door. In other words, your testimony is a catalog of lies!
Yeah.
Is he gonna have his die animation? Arg!
Order, order, order! I'm satisfied that the defense has substantiated his claim beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness's testimony is entirely fallacious.
Dying with style.
That's not the only thing we know now beyond all reasonable doubt. My learned friend's assistant's guilt can no longer be denied. The woman tampered with a crime scene. But more importantly... Lord, there's more, Lord Van Zieks. The defense may have established a reprehensible instance of perjury. But that is no proof that this man is the victim's killer.
Like Tower Unite the other day. There's a faceplant emote. Whoa. Mason, hello.
Yes, that's right.
What?
I was there at the scene. It's true. And I was shot in the arm. It's true. That's all. Yes, in fact, if you look at the circumstances, I am the victim here.
Oh, please. No. I'm doing great, Mason. How are you? But they're right. As it stands now, I don't have any definitive proof that he is the culprit. Still, he can't worm his way out of it now. Iris? You know what they say. There's no point locking the cat star after the cat is bolted. Isn't that right, Bruno? As Harley always says. One lie begets another. Booby Queen! No, the Booby Queen. I get it. Hello, welcome, Raiders! Hello, we're getting so many raids, and all my raid notifs are broken. I'm so sorry. Well, hold on. Are you ready? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it manually. It's gonna be so good. You're gonna be like, wow. Oh my god. What a cool... There it is. Woo! Hello, my name is Comfy Catboy. I have RGB eyeballs, and I do all the voices. We are playing the last case of the Ace Attorney game that takes place like 100 years in the past. How are you all doing? What were you just chatting about? Bumblebee Bat. I love that combination. Did I get follows? Maris, Andres, and Bread Like Butter. Bread is like butter. Thank you for the follows. Welcome to the Mew Crew! I love this vibe. Hell yeah! Welcome, welcome. All right, everybody has silly voices. Are you ready? The Mew Crew. Pandas! Hold on. Pandas can fly in the sky. Got there. Got there. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Mew. Boop, 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 boop. Strange person. Thank you for the follow. Hell yeah. All right, all right, all right. Everything is looking real bad for us in this case, but we're about to turn it around. Originals content. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Mew Crew.
I do that.
Well, no matter what you said, who said it first? You're right. We're trying to convince the jury that this guy killed a person and not our client. It said it was finishing today on the 13th. Yeah, it's rough. It's always like early in the day, the Steam sale ending. Mr. Graydon, not only did you give false testimony to the court, but the lies you told make no sense. Winter's Shadow, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Mew Crew. Is that Winters from Earthbound? Probably not. Make no sense? What do you mean by such a remark? I will say I'm having trouble viewing streams, so I apologize. Hey, that's okay. I'm gonna look real close. That's for you. What you said in your testimony reveals that you know something you shouldn't have known. In other words, there's a fundamental inconsistency in your statement. Booby Queen with the follow. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Mew Crew. Wouldn't have found you if it wasn't for B. I thank her now. Hey, thank you. Hell yeah. Oh, for the new people? All right, everybody, check it out. I feel like you all are in on the vibe here. I would love to know, I would love to meet you all. I would love to introduce you to introduce yourselves to me. I have 3 questions I ask new viewers. I want to know your favorite food, your favorite cute thing, and your pronouns. And if you're wondering, hey, Comfy Catboy, what are your pronouns? Well, I'll tell you them. Hell yeah, what do you mean not this again? This again. This again. This again forever. Dragon Spawn with the follow. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Mew Crew. Boop, 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 boop. All right, here we go.
Objection.
This guy's a vampire, everyone. Maybe he drinks blood.
This is provocative talk, counsel. Won't you enlighten the court, explain this alleged inconsistency?
I can see now. Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for the raid, if you didn't hear it earlier. Hello. Hello, hello. I was just right. One lie begets another. The inconsistency was revealed by the lies in the witnesses' statements. I did it, but hello! They show that Mr. Graydon had knowledge of something he shouldn't have known anything about, namely, the bloodstains on the coat. Right? How could he have known about that? The bloodstains that were present on Miss Lestrade's coat. Favorite food to be roast beef sandwich with stuffed banana pepper. Yo! Favorite cute thing, otters, they, them. Hell yeah! Sushi, baby animals, she, her. Hell yeah!
That's right, the victim's blood spattered all over her when she shot him.
But how could you possibly have known that?
Obviously, because I saw her do it through the peephole in the...
You're a dummy. You're a big dummy boy. You're an idiot. You're a stupid. The point is not that you lied in your testimony, Mr. Graydon. It's the nature of the lie you concocted that is so revealing.
You're not making any sense.
Then let me ask you a simple question. Grilled salmon on rice with curry as a sauce, cute kittens and hedgehogs. She, they. I love kittens and hedgehogs also. How is it, Mr. Graydon, that you knew of the existence of the peephole in the storeroom door?
What? Well, obviously, So cat got your tongue, witness.
Harping only one cute thing. The peephole in the door is made after the incident occurred. And once I returned to the shop, having failed to catch the two burglars, Scotland Yard's investigators arrived immediately. Since that time, the police have been at Windibanks constantly, carrying out their investigation. Isn't that right, Inspector Gregson?
Well, yes, of course, the place is chock full of pawned articles, and my lads have to thoroughly examine them all. So I gave the order to have the officers working round the clock in shifts, so we get through it all.
First form bird Pokemon. Cutest things. It's true. Pidgey, forget about it. And consequently, there's no way that you, Mr. Graydon, could have gained access to the shop. Therefore, you should have known nothing about the peephole in the storeroom. So the fact that its existence forms the basis of your testimony is completely inexplicable.
Objection!
Hoot hoots, not to, hoot hoot, yeah.
And yet, the fact remains that Mr. Graydon did maintain that he witnessed the crime take place through the peephole in the door. How on earth is that possible?
Could I have a word, please, Lord Van Zeeks?
Speak, Inspector.
Friend-shaped. Loving the outfits. Hell yeah.
It's just that I really ought to be getting back to the station now to put in my report.
I don't know what he's up to still. There's really nothing more I can add to this testimony, so if it's all the same to you.
Permission denied. Oh. It's not all the same to me, Inspector. Not at all.
Oh, he was feeding him information.
You will remain exactly where you are until this trial concludes.
Oh, is he giving him bad info? Is he a criminal too?
Of course, sir.
Mr. Graydon, you shouldn't have known about the existence of that peephole. Which can only mean that you must have been informed about it by somebody else.
Objection!
Boom. Stop there, my learned friend. You realize, I trust, that the words you just uttered have extremely serious implications.
Everybody has a weapon. It's crazy in this game. Yes, but the defense believes that the details about the case that Mr. Graydon claims to have seen must have been revealed to him by a certain person before his testimony. And in fact, considering a particular clue we have, there's really only one person that could be.
Who is the person in question, counsel?
Trial by combat.
Who gave this witness details of the crime scene to facilitate his false testimony?
It was Tobias Gregson.
Take that!
Take it!
The truth is, it could only have been you, Inspector Gregson.
Objection!
Me?
You had better have some proof to substantiate such a rash claim, my learned friend.
Consider the fact that we have only been aware of Mr. Ashley Graydon's identity for the last few hours. We learnt of it only during the course of the trial today.
Indeed, preparations for his testimony were made with great urgency during our hour-long recess. While the police executed the subpoena and brought the man here from the communication station.
And until that time, Mr. Graydon would have had no idea. No inkling that he would suddenly be required to appear in court.
Are you suggesting that until such time as he was summoned?
Yes, my lord. Until then, it's reasonable to assume he knew nothing of the people. It was only once Mr. Graydon was in the stand that he realized his position. That he would have to defend himself against the accusation that he was the third intruder.
You're suggesting to the court that it was while this trial was in progress that he received the information, so that he could commit perjury in order to save his skin.
Exactly. And the only person with knowledge of the investigation that he had any contact with is you, Inspector Gregson.
This is a blooming outrage. Why would I be giving away details of our investigations to this fella, eh?
They've been acting so weird.
I was summoned to his lordship's chambers during the recess in any case. Have you forgotten that?
Picked up a cute girl in a Dark Knight-esque fashion, wielding a rapier. So if you have a sword, you're instantly just cool. Yeah, he has fries. He got friendship fries.
Right, true. I had a number of questions regarding the events that transpired in the pawnbrokery.
Which means
the first time these two laid eyes on one another was after the proceedings resumed following the recess.
Yeah, but they were whispering.
Since then, they've been in full view of the stand, where such illicit discussions couldn't possibly have occurred.
Ah. Oh, I just remembered something, Runo.
What is it, Iris?
There was one time before, wasn't there? I think it was when Jenny was testifying.
Oh, yes, now that you mention it. When the bailiff was dispatched to retrieve McGilden's music box from the scene of the crime. That's it! It was during that testimony. I remember finding it strange at the time. Mr. Graydon and the inspector seemed to be having some kind of secret discussion. Time to update the reference sheet. $160, real steal. Whoa, that's impressive. It would have been possible for you to give Mr. Graydon the information he needed then.
You little toe rag, you're making all this up. I'm a respectable Scotland Yard inspector, for crying out loud. Why would I do something like that? Why would I be giving away confidential details to the likes of this bloke?
Admittedly, you wouldn't have had any reason to do something like that for no gain. But perhaps it was part of a deal of some kind. Then it starts to make more sense.
What deal, counsel?
I wonder if perhaps, in exchange for details about the peephole at the crime scene, Mr. Graydon agreed to give a certain something to the inspector. Uh-oh.
The other disc? I'm sure I need not remind the inspector that, if found to be true, striking a deal of any kind with a witness would be considered a gross case of malfeasance.
Objection!
Woo. Woo.
It's becoming clear that jumping in with accusations is this Nipponese student's specialty.
I don't do that.
But with the stakes so high, the prosecution is not prepared to listen to baseless charges.
Things are getting spicy.
It is incumbent on the defense now to present evidence in support of this diabolical claim.
Evidence?
Just what are you proposing that the inspector demanded of the witness in return? The court must see proof of this alleged deal.
Inspector Gregson really did strike a deal with Mr. Graydon. They have drink bottle. Yeah, he just keeps pouring his blood or his wine or whatever. And logically, there's only one thing he must have asked for. That must be it.
Runo, do you think I could pay?
Yes, it's the missing link that would join all the dots together in this puzzle.
I must press you for an answer now, counsel. What evidence explains the nature of the alleged deal that Mr. Gregson made with the witness?
I mean, I think it's the music box, but I'm not sure what it, wants me to say. Yeah, the disc. It's the other disc.
Take that!
Take it!
Love when he thinks so hard he goes to Shadow Realm. Inspector Gregson, Besides this murderer, is it not true that you've been working on another very important case?
What are you getting at now, Sunshine?
Possible that this other top secret case is what's alluded to in this newspaper article here. The classified secrets being leaked overseas from the Ministry of Justice.
How the bleeding Nora could you...
We discovered, during the course of this trial, the music box deposited at Windibanks by Magnus McGilded. A special music box designed to play 2 discs at once. It would seem very likely now that encoded on the pair of discs that were in McGilded's possession are the leaked classified secrets.
Boom.
So I put it to you, Inspector, that in order to recover the second of the discs containing those secrets, you covertly made a deal with Mr. Graydon in which you exchanged the disc for details of the case.
You little... Ah! Order.
I love it when he gets all smug, Star, yeah. On the day of the incident, when we met you at Windibanks, you said this.
I'll be taking that whatever it is in McGilded's down in the yard, thank you very much. I hand it over.
No, don't give it to him. It's mine, that is. Mine. Spills food everywhere.
Sorry, miss, but anything belonging to McGilded has to be taken in as evidence now.
Scotland Yard already knew at the time, isn't that right? That Magnus McGilded was involved in the stealing of government secrets.
My orders were, cover the medium used to convey the secrets leaked from the ministry, and do it on the QT. Strictly hush-hush. And that explains why, when I presented this disc as evidence to the court, you objected so heavily, I presume. Because you knew that it contained highly confidential information.
Blimey, not likely. I mean, I wasn't that sure of it myself.
I realized there was a possibility, that's all. Inspector, surely you're not saying that in order to acquire the second of these music box discs, you did indeed reveal confidential details of the crime scene to the witness.
Sounds like normal politics.
To aid and abet this man in giving false testimony.
There's no other way that Mr. Graydon could have known the existence of the peephole. It's the only explanation. A deal was struck between these two men. Oh, God.
Objection!
If, and I stress if, this sobering assertion turns out to be founded in truth, it would mean that the second disc is, as we speak, here in this very courtroom.
Wait, what? In this room? How could you possibly make a claim like that?
Because Inspector Gregson is a Scotland Yard detective.
Wait, what? You knew that.
What's that supposed to mean, eh? As a seasoned policeman, the inspector will have approached this alleged deal with caution. Certainly, he would not have accepted a gentleman's agreement in this matter. No, he would have insisted on having the article agreed upon in the palm of his hand. Gracious! Then you mean to say Inspector Gregson already has the item in question in his possession? He has the second disc actually on his person?
Yes!
Yes! The defense demands that the inspector is searched at once. Get him! Definitely! They could only have struck a deal with each other when Jenny was testifying before. And Gregsy hasn't moved from the witness stand since. My lord, please, order examination of this personal effects immediately.
Well, Inspector? This young lad wants to tone down his imagination. He's insulted me and my profession quite enough.
What do you mean?
However, it'll put this matter to bed and dispel any doubts about my involvement. And I'll happily submit to a body search.
What? He's going to agree to it?
I presume you're aware of the precipice on which you now teeter, my learned student friend.
He has bread in his pockets.
You made a most serious allegation against Scotland Yard here.
He suitcased it.
If following the search of the inspector's personal effects, no disc is found, you will be deemed unfit for court service. This trial will end, and my country's government will formally demand of yours that you are severely reprimanded.
That sounds serious. That's a lot of things.
Indeed, to have a visiting student make such defamatory remarks about our country's most senior police force is not something Her Majesty's government will be able to overlook.
I'm just threatening Rona because you're scared.
The accusation is beyond serious. You must be prepared for grave consequences.
It's true. I can't imagine Gregson would have accepted a gentleman's agreement for something so critical. The disc must have physically changed hands, which means the inspector should have it. But somehow, it doesn't feel quite right here.
Very well, counsel. You know the implications, so let me ask you one final time.
Yes, my lord.
You still persist in formally requesting a search of the inspector's personal effects.
Yeah, hold on a sec. Hold on just a dang sec. Oh. Search someone else. I think he gave it to Nash, huh? Oh! Irish Viking, hello, welcome! The judge has it! Yes, the defense formally demands... Oh, wait. No, wait.
Well, don't say you weren't warned, but your typical Nipponese stubbornness may well land you in hot water this time. Perhaps a lesson will do you some good.
Wait. Fair enough, I got nothing to hide. Wait, did I click on the wrong thing?
Objection.
Oh, okay. The defense demand a search, but not of Inspector Gregson. What?
Now what's all this? I'm the one you're accusing, aren't I? I thought you wanted to search me.
Yeah, he shook Nash, he shook him! No, Inspector, not you. Somebody else.
What's the meaning of all this, eh? Lost it at last, have you, sunshine? The court shouldn't have to put up with this nonsense. You're being completely irrational.
Be quiet, all of you. Who said that? Jenny! Riddle's doing what all you told him to do and having the courage of his convictions. So you should respect that and listen to what he has to say in good faith. Because it's the British way. I don't know. Bray, hello.
Well said, young lady. Indeed, this court is in awe of the defense counsel's conviction and eagerly awaits his next words.
Some of my stuff is broken, so sorry about that. I don't know what's broken and what's not. D-Money, hello.
You what? Don't be hasty, my lord.
I'm not mistaken about the things I've seen in court today. Yeah, it's supposed to have a little food, but like, I don't know what's wrong. Everything's like broken, and I didn't have any time to fix it between yesterday. Oh shoot. Yeah, we got. Oh shoot. Oh, I made a mistake. I'm clicking up. Oh no. I started clicking on stuff that wasn't in the game. Okay, we gotta search.
Nash Skulkin.
Take that!
Of my lord, Mr. Nash Skulkin. Oh, we'll refund you after. Don't worry. I'll make sure those are fixed after stream.
Well, I never.
Hydrate, I can do that. That one works. Eh, blimey! Me? Him?
Very well then, bailiff. Restrain the witness and conduct a thorough search of his personal effects.
Hold it!
Oh.
Please, my lord. Inspector. Scotland Yard has to object to this search.
Objection!
Stop.
Posture check, thank you.
Unfortunately for you, Inspector, your objections carry no weight here. In this courtroom, only the prosecution and the defense have the authority to object. But Lord Van Zykes! I have no idea what forces are in play that might influence your actions. But personally, I have no intention of obstructing the course of this trial.
Ah!
Bailiff, carry out the search.
Now, hold on a mo. I don't know nothing. Nothing about no disc. Cut it out! Ah! Here, my lord, in the witness's pocket. I found this. Yeah, I love their characters.
Good lord, that's another music box disc.
I don't know nothing about it, nothing.
That is the second music box disc left behind by Magnus McGilded. Woo! Is it not, Inspector Gregson? Ah! Ah!
Order, order, order! Mr. Skulkin, what do you have to say for yourself?
Gordon Bennett! I mean, just Gordon Flamin' Bennett! I swear I didn't know nothing about that disc! Honest to God! Spills food dramatically.
Counsel, would you please explain what exactly is going on here? The alleged deal that was struck was between this witness and this detective, no?
Without question, my lord.
Then for pity's sake, why on earth is this man in possession of the disc that the inspector traded for information?
Where do you put it? Gonna be ants in this courtroom with all the fries and wine. Hell yeah! Dan's gonna have words with the inspector. Exchange brooms. Inspector Gregson is a shrewd, calculating man who rarely loses his composure. But at one particular point in this trial, he exhibited some unusual behavior for a brief moment.
I don't recall. What unusual behavior?
Ah. It was, yes, during my cross-examination of Mr. Graydon. Tell me, Mr. Graydon, when you left the pawnbrokery that night, was it by chance with the second disc in your jacket pocket?
I admit to nothing of the sort.
And he's strangling him. While Mr. Graydon answered my questions, the inspector appeared to have grabbed Nash Skulkin by his coat and was shaking him violently. Went on a picnic recently and both my friend got so many bites from ants. No! How awful. That sucks. I'm sorry. Yeah, he did it all. Thought me noggin was gonna fall clean off, it did. I was wishing I'd been born as me brother, I was. And what exactly happened to make the detective attack you like that? I ain't got a clue. He just suddenly turned and grabbed me whistle like that and started shaking me. Dang it. Why the blazes didn't you mention the third gun when we got you down at the station? That's what he said. Yelled it right down my ear hole, he did. My head's still throbbing now. The way the detective behaved then was extremely out of character. But looking back now, it must have been that he did it. It must have been then that he did it. That was the opportunity Inspector Gregson created for himself in order to hide the disc.
Well, bless my wig! He hid it!
You.
But I'm afraid I failed to comprehend the motive here. The detective had acquired the disc he was after. Why on earth would he then proceed to hide it in another man's pocket? This is a court of law. He could have submitted the item as evidence.
It would appear, my lord, that the inspector was not at liberty to do that.
Whatever not.
As the man himself revealed earlier, his current assignment has some special conditions. Twitch is glitching out. No!
My orders were?
Cover the medium used to convey the secrets leaked from the ministry. And do it on the QT. Strictly hush-hush.
Hush-hush, a top-secret assignment, is it?
As far as we are aware, the information stolen comes from confidential government communications. It would seem that if the information were to be revealed in court as evidence, it could be problematic. Does that sum up the situation, Inspector? Yoshi! I love him. If you want to get back at ants, play Grounded. I love Grounded. You get to fight bugs. I'm operating under direct orders from the ministry. I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to answer that question. So, realizing that there was a chance you may be searched here in court, you took steps to hide the disc you had acquired from the witness. I've heard of Grounded. It's the best. If you like survival games, it's the best. It's a little expensive, but you'll get like 1,000,000 hours of gameplay out of it.
Ah, does this mean?
He only pretended to attack Mr. Skulkin in order to get close enough to him to slip the second disc into his pocket.
So it was all a pretense.
Yeah, you squeeze those fries.
Well now, Inspector Gregson, and you, Mr. Graydon. Are you prepared to admit to the accusation made against you of this alleged deal?
Excuse me. Admit to it, yours truly, please. Mr. Graydon! Clearly our eastern visitor has an uncommonly active imagination. However, there's no proof that I passed that disc to the inspector.
Objection!
But then, how do you explain the reason why you knew about the peephole?
I'm under no obligation to explain.
What?
Yes, I lied in my testimony. That I admit, so sentence me accordingly. But that is all I admit. Murder, leaking government secrets, striking a deal with the detective. All of it is this young Eastern man's fancy. I have no idea what any of that is about.
What? He just won't back down. I mean, I guess I wouldn't back down if I was in his spot either. Inspector making mashed potatoes. Grounded, Nayuchu? Yeah, I love it. It's so fun. It's got like a 90s theme too. And you just play it forever. It's just a really fun long game of exploration and bug killing. So you can fight back against the red ants. Well, what about you then, Inspector Gregson? Do you admit to making a deal with Mr. Graydon in order to acquire the disc?
Ladies and gents of the jury, as a Scotland Yard inspector, I will declare this and nothing more. I am acting in the best interests of the country. Whatever I've done, it's been in the name of justice. So, as members of the public of this fine country, I'd like to think that justice will be your guiding light when you're making your decisions. This is quite a quandary indeed.
Super Uji, hello! Why the first juror looked like he fell in love at first sight. He's a serious man. Yeah, it's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the game, Grounded is.
Rarely have I encountered such extraordinary tumultuous in the concluding of a trial. Nevertheless, in the absence of any further evidence to be presented, I believe it is time that we put the matter to the jury to their final learnings. Well now, as a fellow servant of the Queen and Country, I must say I sympathize with the old inspector.
Yes, he's a dependable man, I'm quite sure. In service, one becomes a good judge of character.
Even crossing your eyes won't help when it comes to looking at this case. It's all blurred to me.
Well, as a fellow professional, I'd like to put my faith in the detective, really.
Graydon is highly skilled operator, stop. Currently in presence of idol, stop. Detective has very much trust in eyes. More than this, I cannot say.
I don't believe it. These 6 jurors they're going to believe Gregson. If they declare their decision now. Is Jenna gonna be found guilty? I don't manage to produce some definitive evidence right now, then we're gonna lose. Either some proof that Graydon killed Mr. Windibank or stole those government secrets. Or some evidence to force Gregson into admitting that he struck a deal with the witness.
Well then, counsel. I think it's time I imposed on the jurors to declare their final decisions, no. That is, unless you have some compelling evidence you have thus far not presented to the court.
If I let the judge call on the jurors now to announce their leanings, Gina will be found guilty. So there's no choice then, Runo. You have to throw some more evidence at them. Hold on. Okay. This is it now. It all comes down to this. Who do I present evidence against? Gregson or Graydon? Gregson. We're gonna do Gregson. I think. I should have saved. Inspector Gregson. There is one final piece of evidence I would like you to see. We have both discs now, so maybe that's it.
What's that then?
You refuse to acknowledge that you did in fact strike a deal with the witness here today. And you leave us no choice but to examine this piece of evidence thoroughly.
Well, go on.
This is my last chance. Looks like I'm gonna have to force his hand here. One final piece of evidence to get this detective to admit to the deal he struck with Grayson. The disc. Oh, I always click on it.
Take that!
Take it!
Is that Mr. McGilda's music box disc, counsel?
He looks like a small child. Yeah, she's 10. Yes, the first disc of 2, which has already been placed in Mr. McGilda's special music box, ready to play. I think perhaps now would be a good time to listen to the sound produced by the music box again. Only this time... Woo! With the second disc we've just discovered set in place as well.
Goodness, this discounts.
Hold it!
Uh-oh. No, wait! I can't let you do that. Why not? Because it's got nothing to do with this case. That's why.
Objection!
Not true, Inspector. The defense has already proposed that the sounds heard by the court earlier from this music box were part of a Morse code message. We know that Morse code comprises of 2 distinct tones. The defense believes that the second disc contains the second tone needed to complete the message. Now we have a chance to confirm that theory. But crying out loud, Sunshine, we're talking about state secrets here. You go letting the whole courtroom hear confidential information like that, it's treason. Then do you admit the charge? That in order to protect those state secrets, you engaged in unlawful dealings with the witness? You're mad. If you let that secret information out to the public domain, you'll be making an enemy of the entire British government, you idiot.
Objection!
Let's not forget, Inspector, that you, a Scotland Yard officer, leaked confidential case details to a witness. That you continue to lie in court, and all because, by fair means or foul, you're determined to do your duty. Well, by fair means or foul, I'm prepared to do mine. Don't you dare. I will stop at nothing to protect my client. I don't care who I make an enemy of. Woo! My lord, if you please. The court must hear the sounds made by that music box. Come on, Van Zakes, for Pete's sake. Stop him.
Objection!
Yeah! Do it.
Inspector, you should know my methods by now. I am a prosecutor, I'm no Scotland Yard puppet.
Ah!
In this courtroom, my duty is to the law, so let me propose a toast. To uncovering the truth, by fair means or foul.
Yeah! No! The leg!
Very well, the defense's stance here, and that of the prosecution have been made very clear, I feel. Therefore, in accordance with the defense's request, the court will now listen as this music box is set in operation once more. This time with the second disc in place, and both discs playing simultaneously.
What was the crime? Murder of the other guy. This is my jam. Oh, listen to that. It's unmistakable now. It's Morse code. Hold it.
All right, I admit it. Whatever you want, but for the love of God, shut that bloomin' box up.
Got him. Got him. Let me ask you again then, Inspector Gregson. Did you or did you not strike a deal with the witness next to you in the stand, Mr. Ashley Graydon? Bro, chill, cozy.
Specifically, did you furnish the witness with confidential case details in exchange for this music box disc? Did you reveal the existence of the peephole in the pawnbroker's storeroom door, Inspector?
I did. Stop! What are you doing, man? It's all exactly like the young Easton lawyer said. When the trial resumed after the recess, and we were stood here in the stand together, that's when he approached me with the deal. Shut up, you imbecile. Shut up! You're off to work. Thank you for hanging out, Originals. Psst, you there. You're the detective who turned up at the pawnbrokery the other day, aren't you? I may have something you're looking for, Inspector, with me at this very moment. How about a trade? I suggest you accept. For information that may make certain individuals uncomfortable will soon become very public indeed. I couldn't let that information become public knowledge, not under any circumstances. So I accepted the man's proposal and told him details about the case that should have put him in the clear. The peephole in the storeroom door and the bloodstains on the overcoat. By giving false testimony, this witness intended to have the defendant wrongly accused of murder. It's free Frenchy Fry Day. Yo, McDonald's. I want that. I want Frenchy fries. Inspector, you knew that. Yet you still revealed those details to facilitate the witness's perjury. I did. Then it turned out the peephole had only been made that night after the incident took place. Scotland Yard wasn't aware of that, if I'm perfectly honest. Well, Mr. Graydon, what do you have to say for yourself? There's nothing and no one left for you to hide behind. You struck a deal with the inspector in order to escape conviction of a very serious crime. Namely this. You are the third intruder who broke into the pawnbrokery on the night in question. And you perpetrated the murder of the proprietor, Mr. Pop Windabank. You. Yeah, show me that death animation. Yeah! Traitor! Oh my god, oh no! Oh, not a french fry, he was choking.
Bailiff, restrain that man! At once!
He just popped a fry out of his throat. That's it then. It's all over. I despised my life growing up. Oh, this is him. I despised my life growing up. Those slums are vile places. I was cursed from birth, born into poverty, the son of a penniless artisan. My parents did nothing but quarrel all day long. What little money they had was never spent on me. Now in french fries, everyone go get them, I guess. So I set about studying to better myself, to one day escape from that hellhole.
And you eventually became a communications officer. I admire your determination.
Fries with peanut butter? I've never done that.
I admire your determination.
But then you decided to try and sell government secrets? Why?
Isn't it obvious? Because I wanted money. Even now, years later, the nightmares of my life in the slums wake me in the small hours. I wanted to drown them out with more money than anyone who lived in that squalor could ever imagine. Then one day I met him. Mr. Magnus McGilded.
Oh, he's a silly man. You're a fiend with acquired talent, so you are. I've money to throw your way if you're interested. All you need to do is go along with me a little plan now. Cheese car. Cheese car. Cheese cat.
I was to steal the ministry's telegraphic message logs, and McGilded would buy them for a handsome sum. As I was responsible for inspections of the ministry's communications office, it was a simple enough task. The lure of the devil's offerings, how easy it is to succumb. But you must surely have realized the seriousness of the crime you were committing. And for that reason, I took great lengths to ensure that my actions were untraceable. By using the music box. My father was a brickmaker, though my mother divorced him when I was still a child.
Yes, Mr. Mason Milverton.
That's right, he was very skilled with his hands. He'd once been a music box maker's apprentice. I imagined his skills would be sufficient to create a machine that could generate Morse code.
Matcha, hello, with 24 months! 2 years! Oh my goodness, hello, how are you?
So I sought out my father again to employ his services. It was the first time I'd seen him since I left the slums 10 years earlier.
Cheese hot choco. Choco. Oh god. Oh, a picture, huh? What's this guy's voice?
Look at you, Ashley. What a fine gent you become, eh?
I miss gutter fries, french fries coated in gravy and nacho cheese. That sounds extremely bussin'. And I want that very, very much. I want that all the way, all the time. Beautiful cat shark spices. Spices. Aaron, hello.
He was a different man to the one in my memory, a thin, frail old man. But poverty had never broken him, never corrupted him like it had me. I was sure that he wouldn't help me if I told him the real reason. So I made up a story. I've got some work for you, Father. I need some music box discs made.
Music box discs, eh?
A musician friend of mine has written some music he wants to sell to the public.
Almighty Jellyfish, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Mew Crew. You know me from TikTok. Hey, thank you so much. Welcome, welcome. It's good to see you.
I brought the score with me. There are 2, actually.
I'd be delighted, son. It's been 20 years since I did any work like this, though.
For the 7 years? Oh, my God.
Fetch my tools, would you? They're in the loft.
That's how I had him make the 2 discs. Thereby splitting the information in 2. You were taking considerable precautions indeed.
Been 84 years.
I was to protect myself as much as anything. I gave him the... It meant that I could deal with McGilden in 2 separate transactions. The first involved the first of the 2 discs and the music box for playing them. I exchanged them with McGilden for 10 guineas. Then, on receipt of the second disc, he would pay me 1,000 guineas. Oh my god.
So, what happened on the omnibus 2 months ago? Was the second part of the deal the exchange of the second disc?
Yes. I'd sold the man information that way a number of times already. But it seems he became reluctant to part with his money. That doesn't quite make sense, Mr. Graydon, for why was it that on that omnibus 2 months ago, your father, Mr. Milverton, was the one dealing with McGilden and not yourself?
A lot of guinea pigs. Yeah, they're all guinea pigs.
When I received the 1,000 guineas after my first completed dealings with McGilden, I decided to give 200 to my father for his troubles. My father realized something was amiss. In time, he worked out that I must be involved in something dubious. And when he did, he said to me,
Next time there's an exchange, you'll let your old man do it, understand? Otherwise, I won't take your money anymore.
Never seen Titanic? It's like... fine. It's like, whatever. People love it, but it's like, just fine.
That was my father's way of dealing with it, I suppose.
I'll be 84 and giggling. It's fine that you love it. Everybody loves it, but it's just an okay movie. It's got really good special effects for the time and for now also, but like, on a story level, it's just whatever.
Climb onto the omnibus and hand over the second disc, and take the money from McGilden, that's it. He had no idea that what was actually on the discs I'd asked him to make. He never knew.
There was so much room. Yeah, that also is real dumb.
Just like I'll never know why everything went so horribly wrong that night. All I know is that the disc was taken from him, and he never returned home.
Red Wolf, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Mew crew. How are you?
It was only then that I found out what sort of a monster McGilden really was. So after 10 years of not once uttering it, I swore on my father's name.
Woo!
To exact revenge. To exact revenge.
Revenge? You have only watched 5 movies? How come? Yeah, it's a long movie also.
As anyone with even the remotest knowledge of the man will no doubt be able to imagine, McGilden brought all his wealth and influence to bear in the most despicable of ways.
Ah!
To crush any semblance of justice in his trial. The crime scene was tampered with, evidence was fixed, and witnesses were bribed. That trial 2 months ago was a farce from the start to finish.
My feet had barely touched British soil back then, and I walked into that hornet's nest completely unaware of the sinister background to it all.
I'd made plenty of money out of my dealings with McGilden by then. So I spared nothing in my arrangements 2 months ago. I knew exactly who to hire. If you're willing to pay the price, there are people in this city willing to do anything you ask. McGilden himself had shown me that.
Are you saying that...
I think you have the picture now. After he twisted everything to his favor in this courtroom to ensure that he walked free.
Oh, he got him.
I took matters into my own hands and delivered the justice that monster deserved.
He killed him! He burned him to death! Phone's gonna die. Thank you, well. You reached the conclusion-ish. Anyone who does this man's laundry of white clothes is crying.
He burned him up. Burned them all up. A tragic accident following the trial here 2 months ago. It was planned and executed by yours truly.
McGilded's death that day was caused by this man. He didn't need to admit to that. Everything is ready, sir, if you'd like to follow me into the courtroom. Is that him? What's this, officer? 'Tis sooner than I was led to believe.
Hope it's not inconvenient, sir. There were some changes to the schedule.
Well, I must be making tracks now. It's time for the inspection. They're going to be examining the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself. So that policeman who came to tell McGilded he could examine the omnibus again.
That's right, an imposter, hired by me. McGilded used his wealth to manipulate the trial. He paid people to adulterate the omnibus with all manner of false evidence. He threatened witnesses to lie in their testimony. So I gave the man a taste of his own medicine. Once the omnibus was doused in paraffin... puffins. Once one of my sham policemen ushered McGilded inside and sent him on a one-way journey to hell. His cane fixed itself. An eye for an eye. He never put his hat back on. That's how I avenged my father's death. A spine-chilling account indeed.
But that wasn't the end of it for me. There was a loose end, you see. A loose end? Yes, I should think it's obvious. The second disc, which my father had taken to exchange with McGilded.
Ah, yes. There was indeed no mention of it in the man's trial 2 months ago. Clearly because it had been removed from the scene of the crime.
Maybe he always carries extra, or glue, maybe. When I realized it was missing, I remembered something. Something from the first time I dealt with McGilded. More of these. This is the first of 2 discs, and the music box you need to play them. Well, look at that now. What an ingenious little invention. So then, as promised, 10 guineas for you, young man.
What's this?
Windibank's pawnbrokery. Aye, 'tis a pawnbroker's ticket, so it is. You can use it to redeem an article I've deposited there for you. There's no need to give a name, just hand over the ticket and tell the fiend the watchword. I put a jewel in the pawn for you. It'll fetch a good 10 guineas if you sell it, so it will. I've never heard of a pawnbrokery being used in quite that way before. Have you not, Mr. Grape? London's pawnbrokeries are very useful places, you know. Each one is like an extremely secure vault. Yeah, okay. I'll allow it. Ooh. So I knew that if he'd taken steps to hide the disc, it would be in that pawnbrokery somewhere. That on the night he killed my father, he must have entrusted the ticket to someone. Ah! I'll do it. Yes, to Gina. I remember now that when we first met you at the Windibanks that afternoon 2 days ago, you had a description of Ms. Lestrade written down. How did you know who you were looking for?
From the trial, that pickpocket's testimony was clearly peculiar. Anyone could see that. I realized immediately that she was another of McGilded's pawns, that he must have threatened her somehow. I was fairly convinced it would be her who had the ticket, so I started to make some inquiries. I had a strong suspicion the girl would come out of the woodwork on the redemption deadline.
And he was absolutely right.
And yes, sure enough, she did. All I needed to do now was wait until the girl went into Windibanks to redeem the articles. But unfortunately, she redeemed only McGilded's overcoat and the one disc that was in its pocket. The all-important music box with the second disc inside was missing. All because it had already been forfeited 2 days earlier. But I was unaware of that fact. Had I not been, I could have avoided my nighttime excursion. Meanwhile, as our investigation into the stolen government secrets was progressing, we'd picked up on the fact that McGilded was involved. Inspector, you've recovered fast from being choked to death. Izzy, hello! I love Ashley so much, but they're terrible. Hello, though. My orders were to recover the stolen information as quickly as possible. So we started gathering the fellow's possessions and examining whatever we could lay our hands on.
We had a full-scale investigation going on at the yard, but we had to keep it quiet as we could. Then, when the inspector here took the disc from me in the pawnbrokery that day, I became nervous. I was sure the music box and the second disc were still in the shop somewhere. So I knew that it was a race against time. I had to find those articles before the police did. So that's what prompted you to break into the place that same night. With the help of your old friends, the Skulkin brothers. What happened that night in the pawnbrokery? I can only describe it as a nightmare. While Nash and Ringo was searching the counter, I'd located the music box I'd sold to McGilded on the shelves of forfeited articles. What, Ashley? It's Edgar. It's Edgar. And the second disc was inside? Yes, I slipped it out into my pocket with a very deep sigh of relief. But then, something entirely unexpected happened.
What are you doing in my shop?
I don't remember his voice. Bang! Closed caption is very thought. I do my best. I try. A gunshot rang out in the shop, and I felt a sharp pain in my left arm. The broker fired his gun, and the bullet pierced your limb. Yes, exactly. But unfortunately, I decided to bring my own gun with me that night, just in case. So beautiful. So elegante. Bang! Uh-oh. Before I knew what was happening, I'd fired back. The man had already turned to flee. I hadn't intended to fire in his direction, much less kill him. But unfortunately for both of us, the bullet hit home. It struck him in the middle of his back as he fled through the storeroom door for refuge.
A sorry tale.
It all took place in the blink of an eye. I don't imagine Nash and Ringo even realized what had happened at first. I was terrified, so I fled. And that's the whole story. That's everything that happened at Winged on that wretched night. Dina should have just not been so frameable, and everything would have been fine. Where'd the Skulkins go? I want to be their best friends. Earlier, you called McGilded a monster. A man who used his wealth and influence to distort the facts and escape justice for the crime of murder. What tragic irony, for what you have done is exactly the same. You've become the very monster you saw and despised so deeply in McGilded. The best line in this game. Yes, I think I have. Wait, what's the best line? Which one?
Well, this has been a long and exhausting trial.
I think I have.
However, it would seem that we have at last arrived at the truth. Inspector Gregson, one of Mr. Ashley Graydon.
He's been restrained, my lord, and is being escorted to the yard. He'll be charged with the murder of Mr. Winterbank and the stealing of government secrets.
Very good. And you, Inspector, regrettably, you will have to face charges yourself.
Yes, my lord, of course. It transpires that you were complicit in helping a criminal escape justice. That fact remains, whether or not you are doing so in the line of duty. Comfy as Skulkin's milk run. The crime is a serious one, Inspector, and inexcusable.
Now to the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade.
Yeah. I love doing her voice.
It's time for the final adjudication. Is the jury ready, Mr. Foreman?
Their character designs are just so good, Star. I can't believe it. Yes, sir, Garrett M. Squadron, standing by, sir. This is really it now. The last push, the final call, the finishing whistle. My men are ready to deliver their verdicts. Just all guilty.
Thank you, Mr. Foreman.
It was me. I was the third brother all along. I want to be a Skulkin.
Very well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. We'll now declare your final decisions to the court.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty. Not guilty.
Not guilty.
All right, watch juror number 4, everybody. Watch juror number 4. He headbangs. Woo!
Oh, that's the stuff. I'm off the hook. Finally, Rana, you finally managed to do it.
Finally is the word. I really wasn't sure if we'd come out on top for a while there.
Susie was right. You're the best lawyer in the world.
Jumps and headbangs. Yeah, his hands are sterile. Yeah. Headcanon that Sulky Skulkin doesn't exist and actually made him up when they were little. The Sulkins believed him.
Ms. Lestrade, I am not finished with you yet.
Eh? What are you looking at me like that for?
Before you start enjoying your freedom, there are certain other crimes to consider.
Eh?
2 months ago in my courtroom, no less, you gave false testimony, did you not? And in relation to the trial today, not only did you unlawfully enter Windibank's pawnbrokery, you also attempted to abscond with Mr. McGilded's property, it seems.
Eh? I never done nothing of the sort.
Of course not. It's not like you were gleefully wearing McGilden's coat in your cell yesterday or anything.
Ah, and just when I was getting excited about throwing a party for Jenna this evening.
Turning our attention to the defense. Determining that, when played together, the music box disc contained a message in Morse code was... Well, it was certainly a most unexpected revelation, Counsel.
Pour it faster.
Misogyny.
Quite so, my lord. The prosecution was caught entirely off guard. Yeah, everybody, yeah. Only, I love Gina. Gina might be my favorite character. Because she's so silly. In fact, I think we should applaud my learned friend's courage here today. I propose a toast.
He's not a bad guy.
To demanding that government secrets be disseminated before the entire courtroom.
Ah! Very sorry about that. It was the only way that I could get Inspector Gregson to admit to what he'd done, so...
If I might say something on that point. Isn't that... Oh, it's her. It's, about the sounds produced by the music box before. I do wonder if that was really Morse code at all.
What? What are you saying, madam?
Oh, well, I'm just that I'm really rather fanatical when it comes to Morse code, you see. So much so that the whole world seems to be covered in dots and dashes to me.
Her outfit is dots and dashes, actually. Oh my god, I love that. Oh, it's just dashes. Oh, whatever. Oh, I love her.
Goodness, madam, an unhealthy level of obsession one feels.
But I must say that in my opinion, the sounds produced by those 2 discs were nothing more than that, a meaningless series of 2 different tones.
What? Can that really be? It wasn't Morse code after all?
Excuse me. Maybe the discs were not in the right spot.
My lord, the defense would like to listen to the music box again.
Are you off your nut? How many times do I have to tell you?
Those discs contain secrets.
This courtroom is not an appropriate forum to discuss the nature of the government communications. We know McGilded conspired to trade national secrets with our enemies, secrets acquired from Mr. Graydon. Now that the man has admitted to his crimes, we have no need to pursue the matter further.
But it's really gonna bother me.
Ms. Lestrade.
Yeah, my lord.
That which you have seen here today in this courtroom has been extremely disturbing.
Falsified evidence, intimidation, perjury, a grim catalogue of depravity.
An appalling experience to befall any child.
Come on, it ain't nothing I don't see most days in back of the slums.
I beg your pardon.
If you're weak, you pay for it. That's just how life goes. Altered script, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Mew crew.
How are you?
Gina. Well, look, I reckon I've worked something out today. The world ain't fair, but if you want it to change, you gotta start at home. You gotta change how you are yourself.
Well, that's a very laudable lesson, I would say. I eagerly look forward to the born-again Ms. Lestrade never gracing my courtroom with her presence again.
I love Gina. I love her. She's so cute.
Now, with regard to the murder of Mr. Pop Windibank, proprietor of the pawnbrokery business on Baker Street, I hereby declare the defendant Miss Gina Lestrade
Not guilty.
3 fireworks. Give them to me. 1, 2, oh, wait. 5. 5? 6. 7? How many were there? J-Mama, hello! Oh, she fired one too! I love it. I mean, she didn't do it. Gina didn't do it.
That is all. Court is adjourned.
Yay! I'm glad we had all day to do just the last part of this case. There weren't that many decisions to make. Why are we still here? Uh-oh.
On a personal note, I must say you've surprised me, my far eastern friend.
Ah, oh!
Despite being a Nipponese, you saw through the pretense to the malice that festered within that Englishman. And at the same time, saw through the grime to the surprising heart of your English client. You have a curious talent for judging character, especially considering our very different cultures.
Let the man talk.
We should just convict Joan Garadeb? Yeah. She needs to go.
I don't think there's anything curious about it. Whether we're from the Empire of Great Britain or the Empire of Japan, we're all human beings. We're not so very different on the inside.
You know, I took this case for one very simple reason. To lock swords with you once again here in the courtroom.
You did?
When I encountered you for the first time 2 months ago, it reminded me of toasting friendship and trust with another Nipponese, only to find my trust betrayed. Through you, I hope to look into the eyes of the man I once knew, to try to understand.
They're all so racist. It's so wild.
You mentioned something similar earlier today about total betrayal at the hands of the Japanese. What happened exactly?
That's for the second game. Well, you may ask. And one day, when the time comes, you will learn the answer whether you like it or not.
I hope he gets to... Is he in the second game? Usually they switch, but...
Alright, then I'll wait for that day if I must.
It's going well. We beat the first game, G-Mama.
Coming to be known as the Reaper of the Bailey and my retirement from service 5 years ago. It gives me cause to wonder if our meeting has some deeper purpose. So, farewell, my learned Nipponese fellow. Until we meet again.
Okay, bye. Goodbye. Bye. See you later. Goodbye.
Want to steal his lunch money? It's done. It's over at last. But where's Iris disappeared to?
She's right here. Oh no, that's... I don't know why I confuse Iris's name and Gina's name all the time.
Ah, congratulations, Gina. I knew it all along. I knew that you were innocent. Well, you did what you said, Mr. Naruto. You believed in me right up to the end. You're as odd as your name.
What's odd about it? I told you I had faith in you, didn't I?
Coffee super detective.
I'm a super detective.
No one's ever has before, say. Kept a promise, I mean. Properly.
That's awful.
I figured something out today. All my life, growing up in the slums, I never trusted no one. But that's just because I've been scared of being stabbed in the back. I mean, the more you trust someone, the more it hurts when they let you down. Yes, I think I can understand that. After all, I had a taste of that in that trial 2 months ago. I chose to trust someone, paid for it. The betrayal left a big scar. Oh, big scar. You know though, Gina, I worked something out quite recently too. Trusting in someone else is really an exercise in learning to trust yourself. When your gut tells you it's the right thing to do and your trust is rewarded, there's no better feeling in the world. I think I have you to thank for reminding me of that valuable lesson. Oh, well, if you say so. Don't make a fat lot of sense to me, though. I'm trying to say that putting my faith in you, Gina, has been a real pleasure. You what? For crying out loud, pack it in!
She's so angry.
But I suppose I sort of feel the same way. I mean, sometimes trusting someone else is, alright.
Thanks. This is the way... Oh, this is Kazuma.
This is the way I see it, Ryunosuke. We definitely weren't boning or anything. A defense lawyer is only good as his faith in the client. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself.
After this experience, I'm starting to feel like I understand what you mean. Kazuma, we're just friends. Am I living up to your expectations? Am I turning out to be the lawyer you believed I would be? I'll never date again. I mean... Who's interrupting? Pardon the interruption. Is it Sholmes? There he is!
But what the deuce does a man have to do to be noticed around here, my dear fellow?
Ah, that voice!
It's too late for that voice now, Mr. Naruhodo. I've been standing here patiently in the corner of the room for an eternity. Ah, yes, it was me all along, I would have said when you finally noticed me. But you people with your incessant babbling.
Ah, Mr. Sholmes!
Ah, yes, it was me all along, you see.
Oh, he's such a himbo.
Yeah, the other guy just looked.
I'd assumed you'd been taken back to the hospital, to be honest.
Indeed I was, but I managed to escape again.
Oh.
I happen to be aware of one or two foibles of the doctor who was tending to me. I merely made my knowledge of them known to the man, and he happily issued me with a leave of absence.
Very above board.
But enough of my adventures. That was a fine victory, Mr. Naruhodo. Your tireless efforts justly rewarded, I feel. Congratulations are in order. As a close friend, I tip my hat to you.
Oh, thank you. Some great detective you are. Great at being cold as ice, maybe.
Have I irked you in some way, Ms. Lestrade?
Oh, you've been having a snooze in your nice soft bed. Some of us have been fighting for our lives.
Ah, well, that bullet did cause me to lose a substantial amount of blood, it's true. Though I have indeed been feeling somewhat cold. Not perhaps as cold as ice, but, well, I have a feel.
Would you take your hands off my neck, please, Mr. Sholmes?
And in some way, I suppose, congratulations are in order for you too, Ms. Lestrade.
What's that supposed to mean? What's so half-hearted?
Well, naturally, it isn't my intention to alarm you, but an acquittal in a trial with that particular prosecutor is perhaps a little precarious.
Well done, Mr. Sholmes. Not alarming in the slightest. Oh, the Reaper, you mean? Because anyone who's found not guilty in a trial he was working up winds up dead anyway, is that it?
Personal space, Sholmes, personal space. Very point I was trying to make. As exemplified by the fate of Mr. McGilden, in fact. Ah, but of course, I pay no attention to such a rational drivel myself.
Yeah, well, it don't bother me.
Oh, really?
Of course not, the way I see it. The Reaper's a bit like him upstairs.
God? You mean like God?
Yeah, him upstairs knows what's what, right? He knows what people are like on the inside. He won't have got the wrong end of the stick. There's some coves like that bog trotter what'll rotten to the core. At the end of the day, him upstairs makes sure they get what they deserve. I suppose that's one way of looking at it. Divine justice is one thing, though. The Reaper taking matters into his own hands and claiming lives is another. So grumpy. Well, it ain't like the McGildens of the world, so I ain't scared. I got principles, see?
A trait in you which is to be admired, Ms. Lestrade. One trip me up.
Oh, I just give it a rest, all right.
As I was saying, congratulations are in order. The news of your acquittal was very welcome news to me indeed. Woo! Let me express my heartfelt congratulations, Gina.
Well,
hydrate. There you are, Harley. How long have you been there?
Thank you, Star.
Honestly, I went to the main entrance especially to meet you there. Ah, Iris, my dear, how do I apologize? I do apologize, but wait until I tell you what happened. This pair made utter fools of themselves. Wait. What happened? As you know, I have a penchant for disguise, and I was hiding in this room dressed as a bailiff. But these dolts didn't notice my presence at all. Ah, they had no idea.
Can you imagine, Iris? Would you credit it? I'm not sure, really. I beg your pardon? I'm sorry, Harley, but you just don't have the weighty presence you seem to think you have. Shark, a lot of the redeems are broken right now, I'm sorry. In fact, you really ought to be careful about that. It's gonna land you in trouble one day. No. This is a Mashal expression. If you've watched Mashal. I gave her Lumpy Space Princess because that's because. Just because. I'll be careful. Ouch. Anyway, it's such a shame. I was so hoping to throw a party for Jenna tonight. But you won't be able to come, will ya? Don't look like I'm going to be going nowhere for a while. You had the judge's powder. I got stuff to make amends for, apparently. All of them offenses. What was it again? Breaking and entering. Taking from the bog trotter stuff. Wasn't long. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, I think you'll find that basically being a pickpocket is the main offense. But diving ain't an offense. It's a job, isn't it? I don't think so. Still, it has got me thinking all this. Maybe I should start looking for another line of work. I mean, you didn't start off as a lawyer, did you, Odo? Well, no. But I was never a pickpocket. What about the cat flap? Well, anyway, I reckon I could make a change. I'm gonna do something for all them lot like me from the slums. Something that makes a difference for them. That's a wonderful idea, Johnny, and I'm sure you can do it. What is it? Tell me! God damn it! Oh, she cry. Big cry. Nothing.
Miss Gina Lestrade. Prison carriage has arrived, ma'am. Come with me at the real gate at once.
Right. Well, looks like it's it then. Yes, goodbye, Gina, and good luck. Odo? Yes? Why? Ah! What was that for? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say, so... Ah, indeed. Perhaps the situation calls for a phrase hitherto missing from your vocabulary, Miss Mustard. On occasions such as this, I would recommend a simple thank you. Oh. Oh, yes. It's good advice, Jenny. Right, I see. Well. Oh my god. Oh, she took her little hat off. Come on. Thanks. Oh, no. Oh, she's so cute. Come on. Thank you for everything what you've done, for believing in me. Not at all. In fact, that should be my line. Thank you, Gina. She's so... They just, like... You know how, like, the Powerpuff Girls were, like, sugar spice, everything nice? They did that with Gina, too, to make the perfect, like... little rapscallion. Well, there she goes. I wonder if I'll ever see her again. Maybe in the second game. I don't know. Well, well, well. Quite the indomitable pick purse. Oh, I nearly forgot I bought a pepper outside. It's a special edition, and this trial is all over the front page. Pickpocket's innocence proven. Isn't it wonderful? Should have shown it to Gina, Iris. She would have been thrilled. Oh, no. How silly am I? Ah, but anyway. Would you like the good news or the bad news? Not again. Well, what do you say, Rono, Harley? As usual, I think I'd rather get the bad news out of the way first. Absolutely not. I have no intention of listening to anything but good news. And there you have it. How people answer that question says a lot about them, doesn't it? Let's not go there. Alright then, maybe let's start with the good news this time. The rain has finally stopped. It was a record level of rainfall, apparently. Well, that is good news indeed. We can journey back in greater comfort. Alright then, what's the bad news? This huge storm that left the sea is very choppy. The channel in particular is awful, so sailings out of Dover have been delayed by a day or more. Wait, Dover? That's right, if we head to the station immediately. Oh, we can say goodbye to Sasato. We still might make it in time to wave Susie off. Ooh! But
But, there won't be a train, surely. We couldn't be that lucky.
Who do you think I am, Mr. Naruhodo?
Mr. Sholmes?
I rushed to Victoria Station earlier and made arrangements for a special express. If we hurry now, we shall be there in time for dinner. And I know of a fine restaurant that serves the most delicious baked sole.
The great detective does it again.
Indeed he does. I happen to be aware of a number of the rail transport director's foibles.
What?
I merely made my knowledge of them known to the man, and he happily laid on the locomotive. Elementary.
Just an idea, but it might be wise to stop manipulating people that way.
What are we waiting for then? Let's London, Victoria!
Oh, Susie. 5:32. How long did it take us to get here?
That took somewhat longer than I had anticipated.
Susie's boat must be just about to leave now. Oh, we're taking the train. Oh, we took the train to the boat. Mrs. Sato, where are you? Where are you? She's right there. She's right there. Over there, look. It looks like she's reading something. Big old book.
Hold it!
Stop, what are you doing? Mrs. Sato, wait! What are you doing? Mr. Naruhodo! What are you doing here? We came as soon as we could after the trial. I mean, we heard that sailings were being delayed due to the bad weather, you see. Oh, I see. Then tell me, how did Gina's trial go? It went well. She was acquitted. That's wonderful. Really wonderful news. Wait, she just turned. She's like, oh. The book you were about to throw into the sea. It was your Encyclopedia of British Law, wasn't it? Oh dear. I was hoping you hadn't seen that. I'm not worthy of practicing law in any way now. So, I was saying my final farewell. You were saying goodbye to law? And love? You, Sasato-san?
Should I be correct in assuming it's because of the peephole, Miss Sato?
I deliberately altered the scene of a crime and then I tried to hide the fact. What I did is utterly unforgivable!
That reminds me. How did you even come to have this, Suzy?
I stole it on the evening of the incident. Mr. Sholmes had invited Gina to dinner, if you remember.
Oh, yes, we had a wonderful time.
Well, Gina gave us a little introductory lesson, didn't she? To the art of pickpocketing, I mean.
Oh, that was so much fun. I stole Runo's armband.
Yes, please don't do that again, Iris. The band's very important to me.
Well, if it's so important, you should pay more attention to it. You didn't even notice for ages.
On a whim, I thought it would be fun to see if I could take the cat flap-a-mat, so I put it in my sleeve.
Big. Really?
Then I rather forgot about it, until I found myself in Mr. Windibank's shop with it later that night. I see. And then... bang! Ah! Mr. Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes!
Leave me, Mr. Naruhodo.
Right. Ooh. After Mr. Naruhodo had left the shop, I started to think. That door started to play on my mind. The storeroom door, you mean? Yes, if Gina was anywhere in the shop, I realized it could only be behind that door. And at that moment, the little device I had in my sleeve sprang to mind. I was so worried about Gina, I simply had to know. So, you used the cat flap-a-mat to make the peephole in the door?
As captured in a photographic print of the shop. By one of Hurley's red-handed recorders. Indeed, it was one of the first importance. It was of the first importance, that point. Precisely when the peephole was made, that information would prove to be Mr. Naruhodo's greatest weapon. Though naturally, without proof, it would have amounted to nothing.
But when I looked through the door, the hole in the door, the sight of that met my eyes, made my blood run cold. Cold as ice! Like little icicle, little ice cube blood. Thoughts started to run through my mind. I remembered that trial 2 months earlier. The trial of Magnus McGilded. I thought about how I had manipulated the evidence and arranged false testimony to secure his freedom.
It made the British justice system feel very dark and sinister to me. Sasato. That's me. Then a terrible thought occurred to me. What if some wicked criminal was planning to do the same thing now? Because from the appearance of the crime scene, it looked exactly as though Gina had shot Mr. Windibank. Even though I was sure she would never have done such a thing.
You were worried that the true culprit would try to frame her for the crime.
That's right. But then I realized it would be very difficult for anyone to give false testimony in that case.
What do you mean?
Well, the crime appeared to have happened behind the door of a locked room. For someone to claim falsely to have witnessed it, there would have to be a way to see beyond the door.
Ah. For which, a peephole would be the very thing.
Only the peephole I had made wasn't actually there until after the crime had been committed, of course. And the criminal would know that, so it wouldn't make any difference.
But the possibility of a rather ingenious trap was there, was it not? A trap? Is that why she did it?
So, is that why you kept it a secret, Susie? You never mentioned that you made the peephole to anyone, not even the police. I know, and I knew at the time that I was doing wrong, a criminal offense even. That's why I decided to confide in Mr. Sholmes. If Mr. Naruhodo was completely backed into a corner with no other possible means of escape, the truth about the peephole could save him! That was my plan.
She really does think of everything. But then, why didn't you just tell me everything before the trial began?
My dear fellow, you're not thinking straight. If she had done that, it would have rendered you complicit in the whole escapade.
Ah.
You could have been disbarred if you had seen to have knowingly tampered with a crime scene. So Mrs. Sato decided to shoulder the burden of responsibility alone. For your sake, and Mrs. Straub's.
I'll consider it.
Mrs. Sato.
The truth is, when it happened, I did it because I'd lost a little of my faith in the law.
Oh.
I was worried that the right person wouldn't be convicted of the crime. But the moment I allowed myself to think that is the moment I lost my right to call myself a judicial assistant!
What you did isn't comparable to what he did. Graydon is the one who lied in the witness stand, using the peephole in that way to implicate Gina. And besides, if the peephole inconsistency hadn't existed, I'm not at all sure that she would have been acquitted in the end.
Mrs. Sato.
Mrs. Sato, what you did saved Gina's life!
Well, with your kind words, Mr. Naruhodo, you've saved me too from my regrets.
I should have done that wrong. He did a murder. Well, we must all be thankful that Ms. Lestrade's freedom has been assured.
Yes, exactly. Although some of the loose ends in that trial will continue to play in my mind, I'm sure.
But the revelation that the music box disc contained secret messages, Mr. Naruhodo. What a triumph to work that out. I'm full of admiration!
Well, actually, that argument wasn't quite as compelling as I thought it was.
Oh, it wasn't?
There was a communications officer among the jury members, you see, a telegraph operator. Also, like, the Russian guy, like, that never did anything. Nothing never came of that. Maybe in the second game. And she said that the majority of the sounds on the disc were just meaningless tones.
As one would expect, after all, we are talking about secret government communications. No doubt they were written in cipher to avoid being readily understood, should they have been intercepted.
In cipher? I see. Oh, I see. So then we could never have hoped to understand the message anyway.
Woo! Nonsense, my dear fellow. It's quite a zero-pipe problem, I assure you.
What?
Ah.
We mean ah. Asogi? What?
Well, that can't be a real word, can it? How funny.
Wait, Iris, what did you just say?
Oh, I just said Asagi. Does that word mean something to you?
Mean something? Asagi?
That's the name of my best friend. We were just friends. What?
But how? How do you know that name, Iris?
I wrote it down during the trial before, when the message was playing on the music box. Oh, what?
She transcribed it on the fly? She really is a genius.
I thought the message probably wouldn't be written out in plain Morse code, so I tried various ways to interpret it. J-Dog, hello. But whenever I tried, the words just didn't seem to make any sense.
That is, in English at least.
Oh,
It suddenly occurred to me, you see, there's more than one Morse code, not just the English variety. Various countries around the world have altered and added to Morse code to use it in their own languages.
I don't believe it. Are you saying...
That's right. I've only actually seen a chart of Japanese Morse code once before. But I think it's based on the Iroha pangram. I don't know what that is. Isn't it?
You mean to say that in Japanese Morse code, the message says Asagi?
Yes, I think so. Sorry, I don't remember all the Japanese Morse code.
Iris, would you let me see that? Mrs. Sato, do you know it? Do you know
Japanese Morse code?
I do, surprisingly. I spent some time studying it.
Why not? Why not?
Because I'm quite sure that Morse code will become ever more important for international communications.
Then might I recommend, my dear madam, that you focus your efforts on the English version. Thank you, G-Mama.
Be that as it may, Iris, show me the message, please!
Of course. What revelation?
But what can this possibly mean?
Whatever is in that long sequence of supposedly meaningless dots and dashes has made the color drain from Sasato-san's face.
There's no doubt that this message was written in Japanese Morse code.
So the British Empire has been using Japanese for its secret communications?
I don't understand the reason why, but the message appears to be a list of 4 people's names.
4 names?
The first is Kei Asagi.
Kazuma Asagi. Why? Why was his name on that list, on that disc?
The second is A Shin.
Shin? I don't recognize that name.
The third is T. Gerson.
Gregson? Gregson? Ah, it would seem Tobias Gregson is the 3rd man on the list. What's his name doing in a secret government communication as well?
And the last name...
What's the matter, Mrs. Sato?
It's just so strange. So unexpected.
Is it her? Oh, what is it, Susie? Don't keep us in suspense!
The last name is J. Wilson.
Oh my god. What? Wilson? John H. Wilson? Do you mean Daddy? Oh, he dead, though.
It says only J. Wilson, so I'm afraid I can't be sure. Then after the 4 names, it reads, if I translate from the Japanese, that is all 4. And that's the end of the message. Or rather, the end of what you noted down, Iris.
Star Moon Lover, hello! How are you? I just really can't believe it. Who would have ever thought that those discs contain Japanese Morse code? Not to mention a strange list of some disturbingly familiar names. It would appear that this particular message is a communication of some kind between Great Britain and the Empire of Japan. So, Daddy could be in Japan then, where Susie and Runa come from.
Oh, well...
No, it's not very really likely, is it? I mean, there are thousands of people with the surname Wilson, and there must be lots of J's among them.
Professor John H. Wilson, visiting professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University. But we can't tell Iris about that now. We just can't. He dead as hell. This is so strange. Somehow, in solving the case of Mr. Windibank's murder today, I feel like I've rolled back a boulder at the mouth of a very dark cave. I do wonder if perhaps it's a dark cave that we shouldn't go wandering inside.
Oh, we're gonna wander. Honk. The goose.
Ah! Oh dear, the ship is gonna...
Hydrate, yeah.
Ship's gonna set sail soon!
Yes, it seems so.
I'll sail on that steamship to the first port of Dunkirk in France. Then I'll change to a larger passenger vessel bound for Japan.
You're really going then, Susie?
Yeah, my dad's like dying. What do you mean?
We wish you a safe passage, Mr. Sato.
Thank you so much. I wish you all the very best.
Mr. Sato, I had hoped to save you. I'd hoped that you don't... I had hoped to have you always at my side to guide me and support me.
Ta-da-hoo!
Please, come back soon. As far as I'm concerned, you really are the very best judicial assistant in the world!
I'm quite sure I'll be back before you know it. Back for the second game.
Really, Susie?
Oh, now don't forget, Iris. I made you a promise I've yet to fulfill.
A promise?
About your manuscript.
Ah! Oh yes, the Hound of the Baskervilles. How did she know about that?
I'll be waiting for you then, Susie. A promise is a promise. Definitely, Iris.
Oh my god. Okay, bye.
Mr. Naruhodo!
Yes?
You remember the first time we met?
Yes, of course. On the SS Burya when I was dragged out from that wardrobe, still half asleep. If I remember rightly, you threw me halfway across the cabin with the Sasato takedown.
You know very well that I'm talking about after that. It's strange, but being thrown together as we were in that case, I somehow felt straight away that you were the perfect person to continue Kazuma-sama's great legacy.
Ouch. Miss Sasato.
My instincts were right. I really want to believe. No, I'm sure that I'll be back soon. Farewell until then. Goodbye. Farewell.
Ow. Thank you. Oh, it's the anime part. Okay, hold on. Turning the volume up.
Somehow we seem to have come to the end of the adventures of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Or the first volume, at least.
We brought the cat.
Looking back now, it feels as though fate has led me on this journey.
She's pretty tall for a 10-year-old.
Fate led me to becoming a lawyer, to traveling halfway around the world, to meeting the great detective. I'm sure there'll be trials and tribulations ahead. Of course there will.
That's an Ace Attorney staple.
But whatever happens, I know I'll be able to turn my fortunes around.
Stop.
After all, I have the greatest friends in the world on my side.
Wow. Hell yeah. Oh, wait. Ah, yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, Mr. Sholmes? It's daytime now. I have some rather awkward news. The railway company has decided to sue over the special express train, apparently. Huh? It caused such a commotion on the line, all the other trains had to wait at stations. But really, we would never have made it to Dover in time otherwise. Anyway, I explained everything and how it was all your fault. Uh-huh. I believe a formal complaint should be delivered to your office tomorrow. But not to worry, my dear fellow, according to Ms. Sasato. You love defending yourself in court. Huh? It's alright, I'm perfectly happy to testify. It really didn't look like the sort of man who'd do something so outrageous, see? Mr. Sholmes. Yes? A word, if you don't mind. Why, certainly, any word you like. Bellow it out, my dear fellow. Here we go. Oh yes, I love Runo's words, and I know I know just the one he'll use here. Is it perhaps? Objection! Is it perhaps that? Objection! Is it perhaps objection? Say it. Then I really must say. Come on. Oh, how excellent! Oh my god. Woo! That's me. Hell yeah, baby! I don't want to pause it. Oh my goodness. How fun. There's stuff that happens in between. In the following weeks, hundreds of music boxes. Ah! Hundreds of music boxes arrived at. Oh shoot. Something was afoot, though it transpired I had ordered them all myself. So I advertised them for sale with used by Mr. Sholmes to solve an important case. And the money I've earned? Consulting detective work pays a pittance by comparison. I have to read these quickly. Amazing. I haven't slept a wink. This manuscript is due tomorrow now. When I'm this busy, Hurley usually cooks me breakfast.
Well, cooks is an overstatement for some dry toast and insipid coffee. I do miss Susie and her lovely Japanese breakfast.
I'm gonna find somebody to raid while we're here. While this is happening.
Oh, this guy. Witness! Your testimony is riddled with contradictions!
Exactly! Rarely do rare kobold coins hide under stakes themselves.
Oh, this is just a recap.
Well, I don't know, so knows his father is an innocent man, or you calling my son a liar.
Witnesses, my courtroom is no place for your petty arguments.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Having delivered the Russian dancer in shore to Shanghai. Oh, gosh. But last night, I apprehended an extremely suspicious Japanese national on board.
Oh, it's that guy. I've done nothing wrong, and all I did was give Wag Hai's offspring refuge in my pocket. A man brings some kittens on board, and suddenly he's a hardened criminal. It's not fair!
Why is he still on the Birdia? I was a little surprised he didn't, like, come with us. That guy.
Sufficient investigation will be the gold standard policing in the new age. I dream of a world governed by the tenets of order and discipline. Like a great clock, in fact, whose hundreds of parts mesh together in perfect unison. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have but 2 minutes and 37 seconds till my next appointment.
Combs is so good. He's great. I love him. I love him very much. Oh.
Latest Rants magazine's out, and I'm in it again. Whenever I say that one line she wrote now, I get a standing ovation. Want to hear it? Not bad, I suppose, for an amateur. Glug, glug, glug.
Drink that tea.
Her ladyship puts me to shame.
Certainly does. Music is a vibe. It's very good.
I like it as well.
Baby, baby.
Been visiting the old girl on a daily basis, of course. Joni, my old jailbird. Yeah, she went to jail. Must say, battling with those bally stairs every day has done wonders for the dicky peg.
The what? The what?
Managing rather well with the housework, too.
The what? I'm sorry, the what? What did you say? What? What?
Hope the gossiping neighbors don't realize the man of this house is his own mate.
The what? The what? The what? I'm sorry, what? I can't allow this amount of slang.
Oh, I like them. Oh, Rowley's back on the beat again, all thanks to the Reaper. There's nothing I enjoy more these days than hunting a small change in the gutter. I'm a better Bobby now, looking out for Londoners. They dropped halfpennies and my lovely wife. Oh, Pat. Oh, Rowley.
I want to see Cara Deb in a maid dress. They're still blinking, even though it's a freeze frame. Yeah, I love them.
Looks like I'm going to be doing time for a bit now. But Iris comes every day for a natter, so it ain't too boring. But she's always going on about them cases what Jobs is looking into. Criminal investigations are kind of interesting when you get into them.
Yeah. I like that. I like that idea.
Baby, baby.
Yeah, you're in jail forever.
Yes, I renounced my upbringing and chose a life of sophisticated crime. But regrets, please.
Game over, bruv. This ain't the Ash we used to know. We got time in here to plan to come back, and Milverton and Skulkin's milk one, right?
The three musky wozits. Milk in the neighborhood for all it's worth. Oh, amazing. Yeah? We at the end now. Sasato!
This past 6 months has been a time I shall remember forevermore. Painful goodbyes and wonderful encounters. I've come to realize that's what life is all about. Naruto-san, I promise. Your assistant will return to you one day.
Model's mesmerizing. Mine? Thank you.
But I leave you now. I think I will leave you with many memories and a heartfelt wish that life will treat you well.
I got a train case I gotta work on, I guess. Hey, yo. Yeah! Oh, how lovely. Yay! How fun. Sholmes is looking as cheeky as ever. Hell yeah! There's probably more credits, like regular credits now. Oh, how cute is this? You're dead. Yeah. Are any of these voice actors people that... None of them sounded familiar. No, I don't think these are... These aren't... This is a fun thing. Hippie Nugget! What a lovely thing. Hello. What a username you have. Oh yeah, no, she's an international criminal for sure. All right, everybody, I don't want to stick around for these credits. Shark, I love you. Not even the sound effects. I feel like the Twitch is just screwing up again. It can't get the key or whatever. Romeo, I'm gonna call you Nugget. Nugget. The thing about the Skulkins wanting to start the milk run again is that Ashley's definitely on death row. It's true. Definitely. All right, folks. We're just gonna stay here. I have somebody to raid already. I found them, and they are live. I love you all to pieces. I will see you, actually on this upcoming Sunday. On Sunday, on YouTube, I am doing a, I'm doing my very first, oh shoot, I lost my thing. I'm doing my very first YouTube live stream on YouTube. So we're gonna set up to raid Juwu, and then I'm going to, I'm gonna type this, and that should work. Yeah, so you can find the editing channel on YouTube, and join us there Sunday, 9 a.m. West Coast American time. I'm gonna post about it in the Discord, and on Twitter as well. And I would love to see you there. It's gonna be a learning experience for sure. I love you all to pieces. I hope you have an excellent rest of your day and weekend, and I will see you real soon. I love you. I love you so many. I love you so many. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. See you later. Oh my god.